The Circle City. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. A fast-moving system is supposed to bring rain and strong winds Saturday into Sunday, followed by another round of showers early next week.
Yeah, unfortunately, the deficit on rain is about 3 to 5 inches across really the northern two-thirds of the state. So, this is certainly going to help, but it's not going to solve all the problems.
Forecaster Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the main concern this weekend throughout Indiana is strong winds with gusts reaching up to about 50 miles an hour at times. A new report from the After School Alliance says that 5 in 6 Indiana parents cannot find an after-school program for their kids. The report says the main reasons are cost, a lack of available options, and transportation. If you need to get gas today, AAA says the Indiana gas average is $2.88 a gallon. That's 20 cents lower than this time last month. The national average is $3.05. Shortly after signing a long-term contract on Thursday that keeps him at Indiana University through November of 2033, Indiana Hoosier head football coach Curt Cignetti said this in a video posted to social media.
My wife, Manette, and I love Indiana University, Bloomington, the state of Indiana, the people we've met. We have very strong feelings about President Whitten and Scott Dolson.
Dolson is the Indiana athletic director. Cignetti says he loves being a Hoosier and he wants to retire a Hoosier. And it's the time of year where you can enjoy fall festivals. Terry Stacy reports on one of them.
Elaine Saylor says, rain or shine, the Hoosier Fall Festival at the Johnson County Fairgrounds is this weekend.
3 buildings full of vendors with wonderful items, everything from fingernails to T-shirts to food to plants, anything and everything you can think of. And then we also have some wonderful vendors outside. We even have pony rides and carriage rides this year.
Admission is free Saturday and Sunday. HoosierFallFestival.com. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm John Herrick. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Your traffic and weather next. It's 6:04.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture Mattress in Columbus. Football season's back, so it's time for our annual Sit, Sleep, and Eat sale. Lowest prices of the year on all Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, and Smith Brothers. Save up to $800 on mattresses by Sealy, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and King Coil. And save up to $400 on the Big Green Egg. Free delivery, interest-free financing. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
All right, south side crash, northbound 65 at the south split. And it's on the shoulder. Traffic is stop and go back to Raymond Street. Delay 3 minutes. Could be exasperated by the construction zone that you're going through at the moment. If you're traveling northbound 65 Raymond to the south split, that construction zone, by the way, done at the end of next year. Now checking out the northeast side, everything looks good through the Clear Path construction zone where they're redesigning 69 and 465. Everything moving to the best of our ability right now, and that construction should be done at the end of this year. We shall see. Traffic sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning reminds you there's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. King's Hawaiian Sliders make you a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend at the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Drew Narsutis. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Yeah, good morning. Today should be a pleasant day overall, starting certainly brighter than it will end, but by the afternoon when those clouds move in, high temperatures in a comfortable mid-70s and rain-free still all the way throughout pretty much Saturday morning. Now, Saturday afternoon is when things will start to change. We're looking at some showers and thunder showers by the afternoon and even a chance for some storms getting strong enough to see a potential isolated wind damage report or power outage by Saturday night. However, until then, we're looking very good to start the weekend, and by Sunday, cooler, but looking good to start next week.
Thank you very much, Drew. Right now, it is 6:06 Friday morning. 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. I don't know if Matt Baer is in front of a microphone, but if he is, I remember a show where Matt was doing a traffic report and his microphone fell apart. I think that might have happened maybe more than once, but at least once when I was working. So his microphone completely fell apart, and he did the rest of the traffic report holding the mic. That just happened to me at my home studio, and it's interesting. I'm holding a microphone in front of my face that's supposed to be on a whole thing that I bought and is fancy, and it's not there right now.
Due to the frequency of this happening, you need to rest your elbow on something soft. I am professional when it comes to things falling apart during a broadcast. Yeah, just get a little pillow like at the end of your couch and just put it underneath your elbow. You'll be good.
Well, it's funny. I would feel worse about this because it's like my home studio and stuff, and I'd feel like I'm not all that fancy. But WIBC, #1 fancy radio station, and you had a thing fall apart on you. Is it just the one time, or has it happened more than once?
I don't want to get into it like I'm complaining or anything, but the traffic center was built somewhere. It was 1976 when the traffic center was erected, and I don't know if a whole lot of. I have a little switch, and I don't mean to get too inside ball for the audience here, but I have a little switch on my console that says Hank FM where I can switch it and not do traffic for Hank FM. And that switch has always been there. I've never done a single traffic report for Hank FM. I just haven't. It's just.
Could we do one now?
No, I don't think I could. It's one of those quirky radio things. It's at all radio stations.
Yeah. The funniest thing about my setup right now is like the one little screw that is supposed to be holding the microphone to another thing. I can tell that it's working, just not when it's all together. When it's in pieces, I can screw the thing into the spot it's supposed to be in. When you put it back together, it's failing miserably, and I'm so confused about it, and it's too early in the morning to figure this out. By the way, since I'm... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say an engineer would just tell you to cycle power, even though there's not a place to do that, really. Just, reset the microphone.
An engineer would also tell me it's my fault, and I have learned that as a radio person, you have to accept that, because if you make the engineer mad by trying to say it's not your fault, he'll make something much worse for you. Things will not get better, they'll get worse. The engineer has to be your friend at a radio station or you're screwed. That's essentially the rule. So when they blame you, just nod your head and be like, I was dumb, and I am dumb still, and I'll probably be dumb again tomorrow.
Yes, Master, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No.
By the way, one last thing, since I guess I'm not really going to do a news here. We'll talk about a lot of very important, serious things throughout the day today, of course, shutdown, all that stuff. But Matt and I have a podcast that I think has actually officially been posted somewhere. I'm not sure if I'm still referred to as Matt Craig or if I am actually Craig Collins now in the description, because the original description, it said Matt Craig and and Matt Baer. And I think it also misspelled your last name.
Sure.
We're doing a show together. And I was very happy about that idea that I could go by the alias of Matt Craig on our show.
Well, we're still working through some bugs as far as that.
Sure.
But we do have a new podcast, and the teaser is posted.
Awesome.
You can find the teaser and get yourself some 60 seconds of Craig Collins and Matt Baer on any podcast provider, Spotify.
Right. And at least one of us is referred to as Matt Craig moving forward now, because I don't think we can shake that. One of us has to be a combination of the both. But yeah, that is out there.
Beautiful.
I think it's cool. I think it's I'm very glad that WIBC posted that. It is funny that we've made like 10 of them, and then we eventually got one out. So it is sort of funny for us. I think that more of those will eventually come out, but we'll see. We said a lot of things that maybe we shouldn't have said. So maybe it'd be good if some of those never see the light of day. But that is how I'm going to promote that show. Matt and Craig, excellent podcast. Check it out. Available all over the place. And we're going to make more of those shows. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm very happy about that. And my microphone worked for every single one of those. I'm not sure if it's going to work throughout the show today. It is so broken. And so did you say ice the arm or just rest it on a book?
No, I just said rest it, but you can ice it too. You're going to need to ice it at the end of the morning. I can promise you that. I used to burn holes in my elbow from all the icy hot I'd put on it. And
Gotcha.
Yeah, so just go. Do not be gratuitous with the creams or anything.
Sure.
Yeah,
I love all the people who work much harder jobs than radio hosts who are laughing at their things right now, laughing at their radios, being like, oh, really? He needs to ice his arm for holding a mic up for 3 hours?
Throwing things at Siri right now.
But hey, man, it's hard. This is a tough day in the life of a radio host when the thing doesn't stick to the right spot. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up throughout the show today. Several more references to the Matt Craig Excellent podcast, I think, as I'm going to gratuitously promote it. But this is WIBC 93. Tony Katz, The Morning News. More in a bit.
Major investment in Lafayette at 632. Brought to you by IBJ's 2026 Economic Forecast, presented by Fifth Third Bank, Thursday, November 13th. RSVP and reserve your corporate table at ibj.com/event.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Join me for some bourbon at Kilroy's Broad Ripple on Tuesday, October 21st for bourbon, barbecue, and breadsticks. You can get a 3-pour premium bourbon tasting. You can even get a bottle of Kilroy's Blanton's Gold, their own private barrel selection, and the complete barbecue and breadstick buffet. And me, I will be there Tuesday, October 21st. This is Kilroy's Broad Ripple. Get your tickets at the link on their Facebook page. From 7 to 10 p.m. Tuesday, October 21st, it's bourbon, barbecue, and breadsticks at Kilroy's Broad Ripple. Get your tickets on their Facebook page.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyear's and save up to $200 more.
See store for details. Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Matt Bear, how's our traffic?
Craig, south side, we have a crash. Northbound 65 heading into the south split. It's on the shoulder right now. And traffic is backed up to Raymond Street. That's also in a construction zone, so please be careful as you approach, like around South Keystone Avenue. Things will start to slow down north of that. Everything else looks fine. If you're ride-sharing people from the downtown hotels, Omni, Conrad, whatever you're doing, going down to the airport, well, it looks pretty good right now. Westbound 70, fantastic. From Meridian or west out to the airport collector with Ronald Reagan Parkway and Ameriflex. Smooth sailing at the moment. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. 51 right now in downtown Indianapolis. Partly sunny, a high of 73 today. It looks like there's going to be 82-degree day over the weekend and maybe some showers at some point. I know that WIBC or Wish TV was actually also talking about some bad weather coming up over the next few days. All right, that weather report has been brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you, dealing with a tough day, as Matt Bear and I were just talking about a little bit ago, because my microphone is not on its little microphone stand. That is the toughest thing that happens in the world of the radio host. Kurt is also hanging out with us this morning. Lots of things to talk about out there in the world. The Matt Craig Excellent Podcast is something that you should check out. I wonder if they're going to tell me after this show that I mentioned it too many times, Matt. It's an internal product, right? So I can talk about it.
It's something you can apologize for later if you have to.
Okay. Let me get to serious stuff. Ace Frehley passed away. Anybody on the show a big Kiss fan or no?
I was an Ace Frehley fan. I wasn't a fan of Kiss so much, but I'm kind of weird like that. I liked his solo efforts a lot.
Gotcha.
I really enjoyed him. So yeah, this sucks.
Yeah. Well, tell me about that. I kind of want to ask that more. Why a bigger fan of Ace than you were of Kiss as a group? Because everyone obviously knew him more for his group effort than his solo stuff. Why was that more intriguing to you?
Because there was a song. I was introduced to it in my very late teens, early 20s. It was New York Groove. And I thought it was such a cool song. It's just him saying, it's like repeating the lyrics over and over again during the thing. But it kind of turned me on to his entire catalog. And then I started listening to Ace Frehley. And my buddies were big Kiss fans. And they were like, yeah, Kiss. And I'm like, I don't know anything about Kiss, but I know a lot about Ace Frehley,
Yeah.
So I just enjoyed the music. You kind of come on to certain kinds of music, certain types of bands and artists in a strange way, and it just kind of sticks with you,
You know what's funny is listening to Back in the New York Groove when you're in New York City, just like walking around the streets there. It feels great. That part feels great, and then other things in New York don't feel so good. But that part feels awesome. All right. What else were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say all the New Yorkers are yelling at you about being cliche, but, I just keep it in your earbuds and you're good. It's a cool song.
No, I'm not going to do it on the boom box on my shoulder. That's crazy.
Subway on the red line.
If you're begging to get beat up in any city, if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Halloween costs $193 if you're single this year, which sounds like way too much money for a single person to spend on Halloween. I don't really know how that gets to that price, although I think costume is still the biggest cost. If you're in a family, $500 about $450 to throw down for you and the kids for Halloween this year. Terrible things happening in that world. I don't know why costumes might have jumped up in price. I'm sure people will blame Trump or tariffs or something. But I just thought it was funny that a single person alone is about half the total cost of like a family of four. And that means you're trying way too hard. I think if you're a solo individual buying a costume. And if you have kids, you're probably not spending a whole lot of money per costume. Anyone want to react to this story?
It just reeks of desperation. If you're a single dude and you're spending $150 to go to a Halloween party, you're just got to say, please pay attention to me here.
Hold on.
In some way.
I am a single man, and if I got to go all out to impress a lady, I'm going to go all out to impress a lady.
But what are you going to dress as? I mean, do you have to spend $150 on a costume? That's what I'm wondering.
You ask her what she's going as, and then you dress up to match her. And if it's a little expensive, it's a little expensive, and you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is the thing I've always thought about this, is when the person shows up to the party with like the realistic looking costume, they look like they have the, Captain America thing from the movie. Part of you is impressed, and then part of you goes, you spent a lot of money to make that happen, because the other version of that costume for $40 or $50 is available out there in the world. You're just not going to look exactly like the guy in the movie. You're going to look like a guy who's got a, Captain America t-shirt on and some other things. And I'm fine with costume number 2. Like, it's effort without trying to go over and above. That might be, the thing that's causing people to spend so much money on it.
Well, good Lord. I mean, if she's showing up as Captain America, Wonder Woman, I mean, the shield's going to be the only thing she's wearing. That's with the sexiness of Halloween costumes. And I really kind of feel that if she's going all out on that, and this is just my mind and why I'm single, it's to me, it's saying I'm high maintenance. And to me, that's kind of a red flag because, I do what I do and I don't have lots of disposable income. That's not a complaint. It's just kind of a fact. Halloween's just one of those holidays I feel like if we invest so much in it, and I know if you have kids, it's so different. I don't have kids, but if you don't spend the money on their costumes, then they're going to get mad. But if you do spend all that money, you're coming up to Christmas, you're coming up to Thanksgiving, other things you have to spend money on. I mean, it just sounds really expensive to me. Kids are expensive, man.
Yeah, you're right. It does. It feels like if you drop $500 or more on Halloween, you're already pulling back on some of the Christmas presents. You're already deciding not to get somebody something here that you might have been planning to get them otherwise.
Your Christmas present is a Halloween costume. Merry Christmas,
Are we aware that Keanu Reeves almost changed his name at one point? Apparently, this is in the news. Keanu did some sort of interview recently where he said his name was almost Chuck Spinetta. I think that was his name. And I don't know why. He was like, you know what? Keanu sounds okay, but it might be too theatrical. So what about if I'm Chuck and then Spinetta as a last name? For some reason, I find this amusing on several levels. First, because as a guy who does what I do for a living, there's a whole lot of people that have fake names in radio and other stuff. But you usually don't go like that crazy. You usually don't go from one name to a completely different thing. You stay in the ballpark of what your name actually is.
If your name's Chuck Medina, you better have an OnlyFans account. That's all I know. That sounds awful.
I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm way too shy.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to change their names or something, and I noticed a lot of TV people do it too. I was born with Matt Bear. So it's like with my name, the first thing you picture is just like this very slow animal just eats and poops all the time in the forest. And I kind of feel like I'm insecure about it. Like that's the impression people get of me when they think of my name is that I'm just out in the forest, doing nothing except for eating and whatever else. So
yeah. That's nice. Well, that's a good image, I think. Oh, by the way, one other quick thing, and I'll just mention this here. And again, I'm not trying to overly promote Matt Craig Excellent Podcast during my Phillies
This is
today.
3. We're not even to 6:30 yet, and this is the third one.
I promise I'm not trying to do this, but I saw Ryan Hedrick, I think, put up a video where he went to some place that got shut down in Indianapolis. I don't know if people are talking about this on the radio or not. But it was like a spa or something.
Yes.
There may or may not be a story buried in one of these podcasts involving a spa and Matt Bear. Not the same place, but there may be some story out there for people to check out, for people to listen to, if and in fact that episode becomes available. I'm not gonna ruin what the story was. But it's out there.
It's about a massage parlor. I don't want to get into detail. Ryan called me. Because I had told Ryan the same story about my experience in the massage parlor, and he called me and he said, this may or may not be a place that you visited before. And I was like, no, I haven't been to that one. And I was like, but there was a thing that's happening. By the way, Ryan, at Sure to Cover, if you want to follow him on Twitter or TikTok, his work is absolutely amazing. And he's on a personal leave here right now. He'll be back on Monday, I think. But if you want to check him out, he does some amazing work out in the street and really helpful stuff with addiction and talking about social issues. It's a great follow. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely great. So I would check it out too. But I love the fact that you already have a reputation now internally. Absolutely not. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Matt's got traffic for you. This is Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC.
All right, thanks, Greg. Looking at northbound 65 at the South Split, a crash backing us up to Raymond Street, and that crash is on the shoulder. Everything else looking okay here for the moment. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry! Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. October is here, and you know what it means. The return of all things pumpkin-flavored, earlier sunsets, and chilly air seeping into your home. That is, if you've got those old, stuck, cracked windows. Ready to eliminate annoying drafts once and for all? Reach out to the experts at Window Nation. This month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 more for free, and your total price includes 1-day installation. With Window Nation, you also won't have to make any payments for 2 years, which is a big deal with the holiday season coming up. Check it out at windownation.com.
Window Nation has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and that gives you the peace of mind when you're deciding on whether or not you're working with the right company. Put an end to your window problems with Window Nation. Now through October 31st, Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And you don't pay anything for 2 years with Window Nation. Visit windownation.com today. That's windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Things are getting frighteningly good at the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this weekend at the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds in Lafayette. Whether you're buying, selling, or trading, the best dealers in the region are creeping in for this haunted weekend of bargains. Admission is just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. But beware, you must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Doors creak open Saturday 9 to 5 and Sunday 9 to 3 at the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds in Lafayette. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2026 HRV-LX all-wheel drive for $309 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. 10,000 miles a year. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends October 31st. See dealer for details.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can buy with 0 down. Choose from over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. We'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. 0 down delivers. And Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations.
Cover me.
Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Enough is enough. Governor Braun said he would listen to Hoosiers and stand up to Washington's plans to rig our maps. But now those Washington insiders are coming to Indiana to finish the job. Unless we can stop them, we want our votes to count, our voices to be heard, and for lawmakers and Governor Braun to focus on issues that matter to us. Utility bills, inflation, taxes. Keep standing strong against redistricting at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How the weather might affect your weekend. Partly cloudy and 48 degrees in downtown Indianapolis at the moment. All clear on your radar, and 72 is the high today. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 6:30. Rainfall is likely on Saturday, which could bring severe weather with it.
The threat for severe weather is mainly going to be late Saturday afternoon, into the early portions of Saturday night. And with that, the primary risks that we're expecting are isolated strong to severe wind gusts, and then heavy rainfall as well will be a threat.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there's also a small chance for a spin-up tornado. Lots of crowds are expected tomorrow for a second round of No Kings protests against President Trump and his use of executive power. Those are supposed to happen across the country, including throughout Indiana. Protesters say their goal is to remind President Trump and his enablers that America has no kings. The flagship protest is set for Washington, D.C., outside the U.S. Capitol. House Speaker Mike Johnson has described it as a hate America gathering. President Trump has said that he will release a list of Democrat programs that will close because of the government shutdown that is now approaching almost 3 weeks. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
One of the projects he's already said he'll end is the Gateway Project, money to build a transit tunnel underneath the Hudson River. New Jersey candidate for governor Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill said she doubts the president can do this.
I don't think a negotiating posture can be illegally taking money that Congress has appropriated. So shutdown or not, Congress needs to fight tooth and nail because this is an area where they have acted and they should not give away power like this.
The White House spokeswoman said in closing certain programs during a shutdown, the president is being a good steward of American taxpayer dollars. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
President Trump says he will also meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in about 2 weeks. He says the two leaders will be meeting in Hungary in another attempt to end the war in Ukraine. The two leaders may also discuss the possibility of Ukraine receiving Tomahawk missiles, and he's supposed to meet with the Ukrainian president today. If you're going to the movie theaters this weekend,
I had a bad dream.
The Black Phone 2, starring Ethan Hawke as a serial killer called The Grabber, is looking to make anywhere between $23 to $29 million in its debut weekend. The first Black Phone debuted with $23 million in 2021. Good Fortune, starring Keanu Reeves, is supposed to make anywhere from $6 to $8 million in its first outing. Traffic, weather, and sports all coming up in a moment.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Look for Governor Mike Braun to visit the Caterpillar Large Engine Center in Lafayette next Tuesday to tour the facility's $725 million expansion. There is also expected to be news regarding a $100 million commitment related to preparing the workforce there in areas like robotics, automation, and artificial intelligence. New details are emerging on a large data center project in Morgan County, a $1 billion project that could end up using some 1,200 megawatts of power. That's about twice the annual usage of all of AES Indiana's residential customers. Ben Inskeep is with the Citizens Action Coalition.
You know, one of our big concerns is that AES appears to be focused on expanding their fossil fuels to power this and other potential data centers.
The Fort Wayne Football Club says it is on track to complete construction of its new soccer stadium on the city's southeast side by its March 2026 deadline. Plans for the 8,400-seat soccer stadium were first announced a year ago, and construction began in April. The venue will be used by the team as it begins its first season in the top tier of the United Soccer League. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Our Innovate Indiana series is on the move in October. Join us for Innovate Southern Indiana in New Albany, October 1st. Innovate South Bend Elkhart in South Bend, October 14th. And Innovate South Central Indiana in Bloomington, October 24th. The Innovate series is presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. Each location will feature a powerful afternoon of ideas, innovation, and insight, and what's next for each region. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate. Julie Rowe Lash, the commissioner of the Indianapolis-based Horizon League, is leaving her job to join Pacer Sports and Entertainment as Executive Vice President of External Relations and Community Engagement. She previously spent more than 15 years with the Indianapolis-based NCAA. The University of Notre Dame and Beacon Health System have announced a new multi-year research collaboration. Under terms of the agreement, Notre Dame and Beacon will jointly develop collaborative health-focused research projects, especially in the areas of oncology and health data. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
Crash clear, northbound 65 at the South Split. Still slow back to Raymond Street because it's a construction zone. Good morning, Boone County. Southbound 65 looking fantastic right now as you make your way down from Lebanon here this morning. No Lebanon like State Road 47 down to 465 on the northwest side. I do not see any problems here at the moment. About a 19-minute trip, no delays to go from 47 down to 465 on the northwest side. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with our best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry! Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 51 degrees. We have partly sunny, high of 73 for today. Showers likely over the weekend. Maybe some bad weather coming our way, but today will be nice. So at least there's that. With sports, it's John Herrick.
Thank you, Craig. And it's brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Just because Indiana Hoosier head football coach Kurt Signetti has signed a new contract that pays him almost $12 million a year, he said Thursday, it doesn't mean the work stops.
I just wanted to get on camera and let you know that Kurt Signetti is going to work daily to make Indiana the best they can be.
In a video posted to social media, Signetti said his wife and family love being at Indiana, and he plans on retiring as a Hoosier. His new contract is supposed to keep him at Indiana through November of 2033. Signetti's Hoosiers are 6-0. They face 3-3 Michigan State on Saturday at 3:30. 13th-ranked Notre Dame has 20th-ranked USC in South Bend. The Irish have won 4 games in a row. Purdue's lost 4 straight. They face Northwestern, and Ball State is hosting Akron. The Los Angeles Dodgers knocking off the Milwaukee Brewers 3-1 in the NLCS Thursday night to take a 3-0 lead in that series, while the Toronto Blue Jays thrashed the Seattle Mariners 8-2 in the ALCS. That series is now tied at 2 games apiece. I'm John Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
So don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time.
Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A lot of stuff out there to talk about. President Trump yesterday touted the success of Operation Summer Heat. He even mentioned the fact that it was something they were not necessarily broadcasting, while it was going on, of course. But 8,000 violent criminals arrested, 250% increase in violent arrests. A lot of good things. And the funniest part about something so serious, at least to me, and I try to find the humor in a lot of stuff, even if it's dark, but the funniest part about this to me is that people are actually still going to crap on this. They're still going to say it's somehow bad, that Trump didn't do the right thing, or he did something, bad in accomplishing this goal. And that, to me, is ridiculous, because most people throughout this country, if you have violent crime in your city and all of a sudden the person in charge got rid of some of it, you'd be happy. Here in Indianapolis, of course, people would be thrilled to see violent crime tick down, as it has actually at times. So again, like a good thing, not really a debatably somehow bad thing. Let's hear Trump talk a little bit about this.
But we're here for a different reason. It's called Operation Summer Heat, which is an appropriate term in light of what we're doing. And early yesterday morning, I returned from the Middle East, where we celebrated a historic agreement to end years of suffering and conflict. Amazing. Every country came together. I mean, even the enemies came out and totally endorsed it. Everybody, I've never seen anything like it. Nobody's seen anything like it. And just as we are forging peace and stability abroad, we're also restoring peace and safety and stability at home. And you see that in Washington, D.C., maybe better than any place, because we got there, and within 12 days, it was very good. And within 30 days, it's been as safe as any city in the country. It's been great. Took out 1,700 people, got them out. These are career criminals in many cases, and people that shouldn't have been allowed in by the Biden administration. Historically, the summer months have been a time when violent crime soar, as you know.
Yeah.
But not under President Trump. Today, we're announcing the results of a sweeping...
I don't know why Fox News was having in and out issues with the audio there, but I love the fact that he also referred to himself as in the third person as he's talking about that, which he does often, because he says, violent crime is out during my watch. It will be out as much as possible. Of course, you can't eliminate all of it. But again, something that, uniquely should be good to both sides of the aisle. There should be no argument about this. As the shutdown, rolls on, and as people continue to say on the left that somehow it's the right's fault, which is hilarious. I will tell you that, and I don't even mean that from like a biased perspective. I know that I have one, and I know this is an opinionated talk show. But the funniest thing to me is to hear Democrats right now, as far as the shutdown goes, say that it's somehow conservatives' fault when they have put a bill forward that would fund the government at current levels the way it's been funded recently, and Democrats said no to that. The gold standard, as you've probably heard other people talk about, in any way to get out of a shutdown, if you actually want it to end, is to just not do anything new, do exactly what you've been doing and fund the government for some amount of time, kick the can down the road, and get us back operating and going. Not that I actually care all that much, if I'm being candid, that the government is shut down, and I can get to that later on in the show. I don't want it to cause pain for human beings, for people, I don't want anyone who works for the government that has a family that's, not a corrupt bureaucrat, which I don't know how many of those actually exist. But I'm sure a mailman and all those kind of things, a lot of federal jobs that fall into that, giant umbrella. I'm sure that there's people that are good people that are hurting, and I'm not happy to see that. But I am somewhat amused at how we talk about the government shutting down in general. And it is also ridiculous. I'll say this last thing before I get to my actual point. I think it's insane that military men and women don't get paid. And I think you need to fix that. And I think that Trump tried to fix it. I think Democrats fought it, as stupid as it was to fight that. But that's just got to be changed. You just can't do that. But anyway, as I talk about this, what I think is so amazing in every single moment where they point to that is Democrats refuse to fund the government at current levels because they don't like how they lost during the big, beautiful bill, which means they also don't like how they lost in elections. The fact that Republicans had the authority, the power, because of, an ownership of the Senate and the House and the White House to pass a bill that does their things and doesn't do a lot of Democratic things. And Democrats took the L on that and got upset about it. They're fighting now to try to force some of those changes. And it's, politics as usual in Washington, D.C., and they just don't want to lose as badly as they're losing. I think this should cause them to lose more. I am also annoyed that a lot of media is pretending that that's true. Because media often attacks the Republicans when they're not in power, and they threaten this move or if they actually do it, which has happened before, of course, as you remember. Media just goes crazy. And of course, media is, for the most part, a whole lot of it, a branch of the Democratic Party, it seems. But this is one of those cases where you're begging them to be just a little bit more sincere, a little bit more honest about something, and they refuse to do it because, of course, they do. But anyway, to get back to the main point, FBI Director Kash Patel also talked about this. I'll get to some of that audio a little bit later on in the show. But Operation Summer Heat, incredibly historic. 8,700 arrested violent criminals, 2,200 firearms seized, removed from the streets. Democrats love to talk about that. You'd think they'd be happier there. 421 kilograms, enough to kill 55 million Americans, of fentanyl were seized, and 45,000 kilograms of cocaine seized off the streets. Just crazy. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
At Bear, how do our roads look?
Pretty good, Craig. We are a little bit slow on the south side. It's northbound 65 from Raymond into the south split. That's a construction zone. Also had an earlier crash there, but that crash has cleared. Good morning, Hancock County. Checking out westbound 70 coming in from Green Hill this morning, and it looks fantastic. State Road 92465 on the east side. Travel time of 13 minutes with no delays. 5 minutes from 465 to the north split. So looking good. Coming in on a Friday morning, please be safe. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry. Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Mostly sunny, a high of 73 today, mostly cloudy and 59 tonight, and then showers and thunderstorms likely throughout the weekend. So be prepared for that. 51 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus, get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Truck drivers, don't miss out on the unmatched consistency of a Schneider driving job. At Schneider, you can find a driving position that fits your lifestyle and goals, all while getting the pay you deserve. Plus, Schneider drivers operate state-of-the-art, well-maintained equipment and have access to award-winning benefits and a 24/7 support team. Explore Schneider's huge selection of driving jobs today and find your perfect fit at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
See a wreck on 465? Find a new pothole on your way to work? You can let Matt Bear know and help out your fellow travelers. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393 and join the text club.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. You got Matt, you got Kurt hanging out, as Matt does every single morning on this very program. Kurt on special assignment, along with me. Lots of things to talk about out there. An actress farted on a BBC version of Traitors, and this went viral. I have audio, and I might play audio of this. I know that I'm a juvenile. I know that I care too much about when farts go viral. I said that seriously, and yet I wanted to laugh about it. But I wonder, how this impacts the career. I imagine not at all. I imagine no one who goes viral that you've never heard of before for a fart winds up having to deal with it, say, in an interview somewhere or any other job, or if somebody, behind the scenes, a casting director debates whether or not they want to hire the fart, person for a thing. But I'm just curious. I wonder if anyone else has thought about these sort of things, and if I should even play the audio of Sela, someone I've never heard of before, who even owned up to and admitted the fart, because maybe it actually benefits her career. Maybe her celebrity status now as the viral fart lady is something that helps her get a part at some point later. I don't know. Am I the only person that's thought about these things?
Everybody loves a comeback story, Craig. She will definitely get blackballed at some point, and she'll be able to make a redemption. I saw John Gruden on TV the other day, so it is possible.
Yeah,
right. She makes a little slip of the buttocks is what they were called in my household, and then she makes the comeback, and she'll probably win an Oscar here in a decade. Is what I guess. I
imagine. I'm gonna guess. Can I ask? Okay, I love the way you just referred to that as a comeback story, because in a very different sense. So I'm at a new radio place professionally, and I've been working there for a little bit. It's not in Indy, so I'm not going to mention it, as a full-time gig. And the other day on the elevator, and I didn't do this. It actually happened to me. But the other day in the elevator, I got to meet somebody. I shook their hand, and they farted. This is a real story. This actually happened on the elevator, up the stairs, up a few floors. That's a unique place to get a fart to hit you, man, because and I think they kind of wanted to blame me. And it was just the two of us. So I don't think there's any, and I knew I didn't do it. But anyway, now I'm thinking the next time I see this person, it's going to be awkward. And it's been a few days, and I haven't seen them again. They're in sales, so I need to talk to all the salespeople at some point. But I wonder, is that a comeback story as well? Is the one-on-one fart? when you meet someone if that occasionally happens to people.
Well, one-on-one, regardless. If you do that on the elevator, you deserve to be read the riot act. I mean, that's criminal. That is some serious felonious behavior. And this is somebody I just don't want to know in my life.
Yeah.
I just absolutely hate it that you would do that on the elevator, that you can't ride anywhere from 3 to a dozen floors without doing that. Somehow they had chose you at that moment, somebody they just met after introducing themselves.
Yeah.
That's awful.
I think, to be honest, because of the way that those things work, I think the fart might have happened first, and then the introduction happened sort of by accident, and then the fart crept in. You know what I mean? Like,
this is how we say hello in Texas.
I'm assuming they're not a crazy enough person to say, "Oh, you're the new guy. So nice to meet you," and then let it happen. I think they thought I was a nobody. Like, they're never going to see me again. I'm just some guy on some other floor of the building. And then we wind up finding out that, like, we work together, and then the scent came in. Yeah.
What a horrible way to treat somebody who thinks a nobody. I mean, I thought we all had dignity until we didn't. I mean, that's
that's true.
Listen, things happen. It might have been an accident, but if it wasn't an accident, this person should be terminated on the spot. That's an elevator. Yeah. There's no escape.
You know what I love about this, too, by the way? I love that I get to fill in on places like WIBC in Indianapolis, because I haven't talked about this on the radio in the market I'm actually in, but I am talking about it here in Indianapolis, in a place where hopefully no one does any research to figure out who the farter was.
Please tell me whatever you talk about, you're just going to go scorched earth. You're going to want names. You're going to give out license plate numbers, maybe a SOCH, provoke some spam calls.
Sure.
Do the whole thing. Just do it up.
Bring them in for an anonymous interview where I actually change their voice but ask them why they farted on me.
Oh, totally change the voice. I'd be like, yes, I farted on the elevator, Kirk. Just do the whole thing. Really do it up, man. Get the harmonizer on it,
See, but then if I make it a public thing, I think they're going to blame me. I just get the sense that they're that type of person, and I didn't fart on them. They farted on me, and the world will never know. All right, Matt's got traffic for us.
It's going to be your sacrifice. Northbound 65 slows from Raymond up to the South Split because of construction and an earlier crash that has cleared. We look at northbound 465 on the northeast side. It looks pretty good right now. We do have a traffic hazard going up to Fishers this morning. This is northbound 69 at 106th Street. It's on the right shoulder. It's not doing us a lot of trouble here at the moment. Just know that it's there, and be careful as you make your way up to Campus Parkway in Noblesville, wherever you might be going here this morning. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry! Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $289 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag, title license, 249 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/2.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730.
That's 800-917-8730.
Fall is here, and if that means it's time for new flooring in your home, then Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as a few weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means receiving more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Stop in today or visit brothers-floorcovering.com.
Our electric bills have increased as much as $50 each month. Governor Mike Braun is driving bills even higher. Instead of helping families, Governor Braun is doubling down on costly coal, gas, and nuclear. That means more pricey power plants that Hoosiers like us have to pay for. Utilities get richer, we pay more. Something has to give. Go to StopMikesHikes.com today to send Governor Braun a message. Hoosiers need affordable energy, not a blank check for greedy utilities. Paid for by Citizens Action Coalition.
Hey, it's JMV, and Miss M's Home and Garden is bursting with all things fall. Shop and save 20% now on interior fall decor. Now's a great time to think about fall plannings. Visit the friendly nursery staff to find the perfect trees and shrubs to upgrade your landscape. Some selections are up to 50% off. Still need to get your mums for the season? Miss M's Home and Garden has you covered. Visit the greenhouse for a great selection of local grown mums, pumpkins, gourds, and more. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
At Duke Energy, we're making Indiana's energy grid stronger and more resilient, ready for storms and growing energy demands. We're adding more power to the Indiana grid. We're using new innovations and smart technology to restore outages faster. And we're doing it all in cost-efficient ways to keep bills as low as possible while we serve you with reliable energy. Duke Energy, building a smarter energy future. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Well, since my baby left me. It's a tribute to the king of rock and roll. On October 17th and 18th, Frankie Marino and family come to the Hilbert Circle Theater to perform some of Elvis's most famous hits with conductor Enrico Lopez Yanez and the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. Well, it's so lonely, goodbye. Don't wait. Get your tickets today. Take my hand. Tickets on sale now at IndianapolisSymphony.org or the ISO box office downtown.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what police say happened to a state trooper that put his life in danger, the weather in Indiana has the potential to be dangerous on Saturday, and why Indiana University is giving its head football coach more money. Those stories and more after Fox News on 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 7 o'clock.
He's a bad guy. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump calls John Bolton right after the news came out that his former national security advisor turned critic was indicted.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it goes. Will I what?
Have you reviewed the case against him?
No, I haven't. But I just think he's a bad person.
Bolton is facing 18 charges related to his handling of classified documents, including transmitting national defense information, some of it said to be top secret.
In a statement, Bolton maintained his innocence, saying this in part, quote, "I have devoted my life to America's foreign policy and national security, would never compromise those goals. These charges are not just about Trump's focus on me or my diaries, but his intensive efforts to intimidate his opponents."
Fox's Chanley Painter. President Trump will meet again today with Ukraine's leader Volodymyr Zelensky, who's pushing for the U.S. to send advanced Tomahawk missiles to help battle Russia. The president's also planning another summit in the coming weeks with Russian leader Vladimir Putin. The two talked by phone yesterday.
Zelensky saying on X, "We hope that the momentum of curbing terror and war which worked in the Middle East will help end the Russian war against Ukraine. Putin is definitely not braver than Hamas or any other terrorist."
Fox's Madeline Rivera. A few weeks before a closely watched election for mayor in New York City, A debate on WNBC.
This is not a job for a first-timer.
That's former Governor Andrew Cuomo taking a swipe at the socialist frontrunner, Democrat nominee Zohran Mamdani.
Why would New Yorkers turn back to the governor who sent seniors to their death in nursing homes? That's the kind of experience that's on offer here today. What I don't have an experience, I make up for in integrity.
And those two took aim at each other over and over and vowed to stand up to the president. Republican Curtis Sliwa then said,
if you try to get tough with Trump, the only people who are going to suffer from that are the people of New York City.
Okay, but a new Fox poll has Sliwa far behind in that mayor's race at 14%. Mamdani way out in front, 52% support among likely voters. Cuomo's at 28%. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What you might want to know if you're outside tomorrow. Mostly cloudy and 50 degrees on Monument Circle, and the radar is spotless at the moment. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. Strong showers and thunderstorms are possible on Saturday.
Really, we're going to see widespread heavy rainfall across much of the state, but when it comes to the severe weather threat, we think the greatest threat, really the entire state has a marginal threat for severe weather, but the greatest threat we think would be slightly higher as you get further south across the state.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says you'll want to watch out for high wind gusts, and the storms could linger into Sunday. More on your forecast with Wish TV in a moment. Around 40 No Kings protests are going to be held across Indiana tomorrow. Those protests have been held in Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, and other larger cities already this year, but they will be in smaller cities and towns like Decatur, Oldenburg, Franklin, and Batesville. Those organizing the protests say the Trump administration is trying to eradicate the First Amendment, silence journalists, and remove the rights of marginalized groups. State police say a trooper's now recovering after being hit while responding to a call. Jarrett Lewis with more.
At around 5:30 in the afternoon Thursday, state police say the trooper had his lights and sirens on while getting off I-465 westbound onto Keystone Avenue in Indianapolis. Troopers say he stopped at the traffic light and made sure cars were yielding to him, but as he made his way through the light, he was struck by a driver in a black Hyundai Tucson. The trooper was hit on the driver's side of the vehicle. He and the other driver were transported to local hospitals with minor injuries. Police don't believe drugs or alcohol were a factor in the collision. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A new contract for the Indiana Hoosier head football coach Curt Cignetti. Jake McDaniel reports.
Cignetti has signed a new 8-year contract that secures his leadership through November of 2033. The new deal is a commitment from IU worth an average annual compensation of about $11.6 million. IU President Pamela Whitten called Cignetti a winner, and IU's #1 priority is making sure he remains the leader as they look to compete at a championship level for years to come. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Cignetti spoke about that in a video he released shortly after signing the new deal.
You know, we've accomplished a lot here in a short amount of time, but still have a lot of work to do. So I couldn't be more proud to be a Hoosier, and I plan on retiring as a Hoosier.
And Cignetti says he loves the way the state of Indiana has embraced both him and his family. His 6-0 Hoosiers are ranked 3rd in the country. They face Michigan State tomorrow in Bloomington at 3:30. The first exhibition game for the Indiana Hoosier men's basketball team is tonight as they face the Marion Knights at Assembly Hall. IU's head men's basketball coach Darren DeVries says he's seen lots of progress from his guys.
The connectivity has really come a long ways from the beginning of the summer till now, and now we got to see it against somebody else.
Tonight's game tips off at 7:30. Pregame coverage beginning at 6:30 right here on 93 WIBC. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 7:05 with traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
Southside, northbound 65 Raymond Street, up to the south split because of construction. And checking out our drive times here at the moment if you're coming in from Hancock County. Good morning, Greenfield, westbound 70, looking fantastic. State Road 92465 on the east side. That's 12-minute travel time with no delays. Northbound 65 coming up from Johnson County, Franklin, from State Road 44 up to 465 on the south side. Again, 14 minutes, no delays there. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy Mountain is back with even more easy. Present for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Kara Hastings. Good morning. How does the weather look?
Hey, good morning. Boy, clear and crisp start off the day today with some spots falling into the 40s. I do think we're going to see lots of sunshine to start off the day. Clouds will increase, though, throughout the afternoon. We'll look for high temperatures today right around 73. Lots of clouds tonight, dry for those Friday night football games. Overnight will fall to about 59. And then on Saturday, we're going to see a storm system move through with a cold front. Ahead of the front, it is going to be breezy with winds out of the southwest. Gusts could be about 25 miles per hour. Highs will be near 80. But showers and thunderstorms move through later in the afternoon, especially into the evening hours. Some of those could be on the stronger side. Gusty winds, heavy rainfall, the main threats. On Sunday, windy, wet conditions, highs only around 60. So dramatically different from Saturday into Sunday and much of next week, too.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now it is 7:07 Friday morning. Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Lots of stuff to talk about. John Bolton getting indicted for keeping classified documents is genuinely hilarious. It genuinely is. It's not, I don't think it's politically funny. I mean, it is politically funny, but I don't think it's just that. I think that it's actually funny in the grand scheme of like life. And I'll tell you why. It's because Bolton so very often criticized Trump when he had the classified documents case against him and basically predicted that Trump would be thrown in jail forever. And Bolton again and again would say how serious and important this crime was. Now, granted, Trump is a current and he was a former president. So any of those documents that he may or may not have had, which a bunch of other presidents, including Biden, apparently also had, were things that he was at least entitled to in a certain way. Bolton had a whole bunch of stuff that he never, ever should have taken anywhere other than where it was shown to him because he was never, and in fact will never be, I imagine, the president of the United States, thank God. But I want to remind you of some of the times that Bolton went hard in the paint, is how I'm going to describe it, talking about Trump, classified documents, and how serious of a crime it is because that's what they just indicted him for. Let's get this. Okay.
Then he has committed very serious crimes. This is a devastating indictment. I speak here as an alumnus of the Justice Department myself, because not only is it powerful, it's very narrowly tailored. They didn't throw everything up against the wall to see what would stick. This really is a rifle shot, and I think it should be the end of Donald Trump's political career.
You just got to add John Bolton at the end there if he were talking about himself now, because again, it's about specific classified documents. You shouldn't have. Let's do Bolton again here.
President had a habit of asking to retain sensitive documents. And from time to time, he did that, and we didn't know what happened to them. And it was always a concern that because he didn't really fully understand the risks to sources and methods and other dangers of revealing classified information, that it might get out to the wrong people.
Yeah, and then Bolton told a couple of his family members about some of the classified documents that he had. This is all part of the indictment. My favorite part about this, too, is President Trump and how he reacts to being asked questions like this. He was asked about Bolton, what he thought of it. You actually heard some of that in the news thing we did just a little bit ago. But here, let me play again the newscast because I think this is so great where Trump goes, yeah, I don't really care much. I'm not really paying close attention. But the guy's a piece of crap, basically, more or less. Here we go.
Maryland. Do you have a reaction to that?
I didn't know that. You told me for the first time, but I think he's, a bad person. I think he's a bad guy. Yeah, he's a bad guy. It's too bad, but that's the way it goes.
The case against him?
That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it goes. Will I what?
Have you reviewed the case against him?
No, I haven't. But I just think he's a bad person. Okay.
I'm sorry. I love every part of that. I love how quick and matter of fact and simple it is. He goes, nah, I'm not really paying attention, but he's also just he's a piece of crap. Here's another version of Trump saying how Bolton is terrible. This is actually a flashback. He did this a while ago. But this is one of those moments where you feel like you can play more of these things. Here we go.
But I said, don't go in. They went in. It was such a bad decision. So Bolton, see again, you get back. Bolton, a real dope. But I thought he'd be great because he was so stupid. He was like a boiler. Every time, if somebody shot down a little tiny crappy drone that cost about $15, he'd want to go to war with Russia. I said, no, I think he was great for me, though, for a period of time because he was a nut job. And everybody, I could see his face get red with that stupid white mustache. And
okay, I got to be honest. That's genuinely hilarious. And one last thing that I will say in regard to this story, and I'll probably talk about it more a little bit later on. But anyone who's mad that potentially what's happening here is retribution, is revenge because Trump was gone after, and now he's going after some of his political opponents, which I don't think that's actually happening. But if people are saying that that's a bad thing, this is the old version of don't do it because the other side will do it too, that you're seeing. And Bolton uniquely deserving of it because of how apparently he behaved for years while saying out loud that he thought Trump's classified documents case was going to throw him in the hoosgow forever. And then Bolton was also taking a bunch of classified document stuff home that he shouldn't have been. Apparently a whole lot of people in D.C. will just take their classified documents home with them. I feel like we've got to get a handle on that. I feel like President Trump might be able to get a handle on that, and this might be how we do it. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits, like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-348-8569. 800-348-8569. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-348-8569.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-557-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with our best stamped concrete patio package. Create the perfect space for cozy outdoor hangouts. Hurry, this offer ends November 1st. Visit indiedecorativeconcrete.com for details.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Yeah, Craig, south side, northbound 65, slow from Raymond up to the south split. That's a construction zone. On the northeast side, inbound 69, slow in spots here, 96th Street, 2465. We're moving okay, though. Eastbound 465, slow from Ditch Road over to Meridian 31. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy Button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Partly sunny, a high of 73 for today, cloudy and 59 tonight, and then showers likely throughout the weekend. Maybe some bad weather toward the tail end of the weekend. 50 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff to talk about. Let's do a popcorn moment brought to you by Boer Remodeling Company. I think that there's a couple out there that I did really like. One's a little bit older, so I'll do the newer one first, and then I'll give you a bonus popcorn moment because I can't help it. But the first one is a pathetic attempt to push any sort of attention away from the fact that Jay Jones, who's an AG candidate in Virginia, is totally okay with shooting his political enemies. He wants to do it. He dreams about doing it kind of stuff, or someone else doing it for him, which is insane. This is the kind of person that should be rejected by both sides of the political aisle and told that you need to go away and not be a politician anymore. Of course, Democrats not doing that. And you can't even fathom the way that Democrats would react if it were a Republican who had text messages outed the way that this Democrat did, and how many things they'd be saying, like how many different versions of this is the end of society because someone like this exists at all, kind of thing, and is trying to be a politician. But darn it, he's a Democrat, so they're trying to leave him alone. But he said Donald Trump's name during a 60-minute debate 40 to 50 times by some counts. I have a little bit of audio of that.
That's who his boss is. He'd rather be Donald Trump's pro bono attorney than do his job. And it's exactly why Donald Trump endorsed him, the only one running on the Republican ticket this year, for re-election. He said, Jason will never let us down. And you all know that Donald Trump has spent the last 10 years telling us every day that he cares more about himself than anyone else.
Yeah, he has a Trump derangement syndrome to an insane degree. Donald Trump is living rent-free in this guy's head 40 to 50 times throughout the entirety of a 60-minute debate. The guy just said the name Donald Trump because he's doing what all Democrats do. He thinks that he can, distract you from any of the terrible, horrible things he's accused of or potentially doing if he just vilifies Trump more to his base. That's literally all it is. That's the only plan. Horrible person. All right, let's do a second one because I like this one better. It's a little bit older. It's from a couple days ago. AOC, Bernie Sanders, town hall. Just terrible stuff happened. But I really love to nitpick and, deconstruct. Nitpick isn't right. I'm going to go harder in the paint than that. But deconstruct this position by Democrats, specifically AOC. She was asked a question. Why are young men turning to the Republican Party? Why are young men feeling as though more and more they have no place in the Democratic Party? And by and large, the answer to this is very easy. Democrats have vilified men. The same way that they go after Trump, they've turned men and how men naturally want to behave into something that's horrible and terrible and not something that's actually at all acceptable in their party. AOC doesn't believe that, though, of course. She thinks that what's happening is something more sinister by Republicans. Here we go.
And they are able to radicalize and target and exploit a generation of young boys, in particular, away from healthy masculinity and into an insecure masculinity that requires the domination of others who are poorer, browner, darker, or a different gender than them.
Okay, my favorite part, by the way, as I'm playing this audio, is CNN cuts to a woman in the audience who's nodding her head in agreement with AOC as they're saying this.
And that is why they are resonating online, because they are appealing to the most basest and worst parts of human nature to divide.
Okay, so here's what's amazing about saying it that way. So there are a bunch of young men who are voting Republican. And if you were a young man who didn't necessarily hate or think that AOC was a moron, which many people do, in fact, on the other side of the aisle. But if you're someone who could be attainable, like let's pretend you're the type of voter that may still vote on that side of the aisle if the message changed over there. And I'm not trying to coach them to do a better job. I'm happy that young men are voting the way they're voting. But you watch that. And basically what she's saying is that if you vote Republican and are a guy, you have to be a piece of crap. You have to be an absolute piece of, bleep who shouldn't even exist in our society because you believe in, quote, toxic masculinity. And what's amazing is if you ask someone on the left, what is healthy masculinity, they won't describe anything masculine. They'll tell you a bunch of things that are healthy, which all sound a whole lot like things that you might describe as feminine and not at all aligned with anything it means to be a guy. And I just think this is so amazing because being a man or being a young man doesn't mean that you're inherently toxic and you have to do something to fix yourself from being that way because you feel and think certain things. I think that it's ridiculous to radicalize that. And it's something that the left has done a whole lot of and continues to do and will continue to do, I think, until they lose every single young man who's a part of that party at all. And here's the other thing I'll say about this, and this is just unique to me and my own personal experience. Call this anecdotal if you want to, because, well, it is. But I've been in a conversation before, and I remember even in my 20s being in conversations in college and other places before where you get the sense that, like, there's a few women in the group and they're all talking, and you get the sense that, all right, men are terrible. And if you say anything at all that's somehow positive, even though you're in fact are a guy and you probably think you're not such a bad person, but if you say anything, they're all going to turn on you and say how horrible you are for defending something. And it can be any topic of conversation. You just notice that the undercurrent is you better agree that men are awful people. Actually, I'll tell you one recently. I was working at a place, not the radio station I'm at now, but somewhere else. And I was having a conversation with a black woman, and she was telling me how men, and then specifically white men, are just awful people. And I'm thinking as she's saying this stuff to me, and she was interacting with people throughout the day and saying every time she had a problem with someone, it had to be a white guy that she had a problem with. But the interesting thing about her saying this to me is, like, I'm, of course, a white man. And so I don't know if in her brain she wanted me to be, like, angrier or wanted me to react some way to this discussion, because I don't think I've ever done that, where I've walked up to someone, described them by their race and their sex to them, and then said that anyone who looks like you, anyone who's the same race, the same sex as you, is a horrible person, and then waited for them to respond. But in society right now, that's a fairly common thing. You'd have a lot of young women talking to young men about how men are terrible beside you. Of course, you're not, because you don't act anything like those other guys. And then you have to behave that way, or else you have to fall into the giant group that they've created of awful people. And so in that moment, again, to go back to it, with the person that I was working with at the time, I essentially just stood there like, yeah, it's got to be terrible. I didn't want to agree, but I didn't want to necessarily disagree because it wouldn't have gone well. I think it would have only made things worse, and I got to walk away from that one-on-one conversation. But what I thought was really amusing is if they listened to me at all on the show that I do, anywhere that I do it, they would know I vehemently disagree with them. And maybe that was the point of confronting me and having the conversation. I don't know. But it's just amazing because there is that moment. And I think a lot of young men deal with this every day now of their lives, where you're confronted with, I have to pretend that I'm awful based on my sex, based on my race, based on whatever thing you need me to be to base it on in this conversation with you. Because if I don't say that, then I'm not acceptable to your side of the aisle anymore. And so a lot of men, of course, are hearing that message and saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm not a fan of this. I'm going to go ahead and go to the other side where I'm not evil and horrible just before I even start talking. I'm actually judged based on my own individual personality and not based on any sort of subset or group that makes me somehow bad. But again, I just thought that was so amazing because I tried to put myself in the same shoes where I walked up to someone who doesn't look like me, whether it's their race or their sex, whatever it might be, and said the same thing that was being said to me by this woman in the same way. Like, oh, this person, because of these things are terrible, or anyone like them, and how that would go. How eventually I'd be perceived in that office space. But totally fine if you're crapping on white people in front of, in fact, white men telling them how bad they are. All right, I'll take a break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News. 93 WIBC. Matt's got your traffic.
All right, Craig, south side, northbound 65 slow. Raymond Street up to the south split because of construction. Eastbound 465 on the north side, a little bit slow right now from Ditch over to Meridian. Inbound 69 drags a little bit around 96th. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can buy with 0 down. Choose from over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. We'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. 0 down delivers. And Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations.
Cover me.
Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Join me for some bourbon at Kilroy's Broad Ripple on Tuesday, October 21st for bourbon, barbecue, and breadsticks. You can get a 3-pour premium bourbon tasting. You can even get a bottle of Kilroy's Blanton's Gold, their own private barrel selection, and the complete barbecue and breadstick buffet. And me, I will be there Tuesday, October 21st. This is Kilroy's Broad Ripple. Get your tickets at the link on their Facebook page. From 7 to 10 p.m. Tuesday, October 21st, it's bourbon, barbecue, and breadsticks at Kilroy's Broad Ripple. Get your tickets on their Facebook page.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
I'm Deidre Hall with a message about your eye health. My mother had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, which means my family members are at greater risk. AMD affects vision, and having low vision as a result of wet AMD, the more severe form of AMD, can mean a task like driving can become a major challenge.
I'm Dr. Sada of the Doheny Eye Institute in UCLA. AMD is the most common cause of severe, irreversible vision loss in older adults in the U.S. AMD affects central vision, which lets you see fine details. About 9 million Americans are living with wet AMD or are at risk. If you're over 50, smoke, or have a family history of wet AMD, you could be at increased risk. If a healthcare professional suspects wet AMD, a retina specialist can confirm the diagnosis and work with you on a treatment plan.
Routine eye care, including regular eye exams, can help maintain your vision. Visit www.geteyesmart.org for more information.
I'm Sherry Shepard. You probably know me best as a co-host on The View. More importantly, I'm a mom. If you're pregnant or a new mom, you can get timely expert information to help keep your baby healthy, something every mother wants. Through a free service called Text for Baby, women get health tips sent directly to their cell phones to help them care for their babies through the first year. Just text BABY, B-A-B-Y, to 511411. That's BABY, B-A-B-Y, to 511411 for the health of your baby.
Hammer and Nigel.
America has a new favorite beer. It's Mick Ultra. If you remember, Modelo was the #1 beer in America.
They're blaming Trump.
The Trump administration's immigration policies have affected it.
Oh, come on.
At least Cracker Barrel came out and said, hey, we screwed up. We're going to go back to the way things were. Bud Light never did.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A weekend to keep your eye on the sky. As of now, nothing on radar, 50 degrees and mostly cloudy in downtown Indianapolis with highs today in the low 70s. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 7:30. Showers and storms from Saturday in Indiana might linger into Sunday. That's the message from Greg Mello. He's a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
The rainfall will be most widespread in the morning, and then we think once we get into the afternoon
and it's the evening hours, our rain chances start to taper off as we get some dry air that moves into the area.
He says there's a small chance of severe weather Saturday that could bring lightning, strong wind gusts at times, and the light possibility of a tornado. Today is the 17th day of the federal government shutdown. Here's what President Trump had to say today on Fox about what he plans to cut.
What we're doing is we're cutting Democrat programs that we didn't want because, they made one mistake. They didn't realize that gives me the right to cut programs that Republicans never wanted, giveaways, welfare programs, etc. And we're doing that, and we're cutting them permanently.
He also suggested that Democrats are delaying shutdown talks for the No King's Day protests that are set to take place across the country this weekend, and that includes in Indiana. President Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, was indicted on 18 counts Thursday.
Prosecutors say John Bolton shared over 1,000 pages of classified information, including top secret material and SCI material with two unauthorized individuals. Prosecutors say the alleged crimes happened between April 2018 to August 2025 during and after his tenure as National Security Advisor. In a statement, Bolton maintained his innocence, saying in part, quote, "I have devoted my life to America's foreign policy and national security, would never compromise those goals. These charges are not just about Trump's focus on me or my diaries, but his intensive efforts to intimidate his opponent."
That's Fox's Chanley Painter, who also reports that the investigation into Bolton had begun before President Trump began his second term. The state of Arizona is scheduled to carry out an execution today. Richard Jerf was convicted on 4 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to death in 1996. He's scheduled to die by lethal injection for killing 4 members of a family in Phoenix, including a 5-year-old boy. Indiana schools are working to replace the former A to F grading model. Jake McDaniel explains why.
The State Board of Education just saw the second draft of a huge overhaul. The Indiana Capitol Chronicle says the goal is to make sure schools' success isn't just about one test score. Education leaders say the new system will keep the A through F scale, but now measure every single child. They call it the N of 1 model. Schools will earn points for things like attendance, literacy progress, and job skills, not just high-stakes tests. It's all part of their new Indiana GPS framework, and they have to finalize the rules by the end of December this year. Jake McDaniel, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
And Greenwood's Halloween tradition called Monster Mash is tonight at Craig Park.
Come dressed up, lots of costumes. We'll have vendors giving out lots of candy on the event lawn. We'll have food vendors.
Greenwood Parks and Recreation Director Rob Taggart says the event is free to the public with admission from 6 to 8:30 tonight. If you want to beat the crowd, there is a VIP ticketing option which you can purchase for a 4:30 entry. Greenwood.in.gov has more information. And sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. With the Indiana Hoosier football team now 6-0 and ranked 3rd in the country, the administration decided to give its head football coach, Curt Cignetti, a new deal that keeps him at the school through November of 2033. Here's what Cignetti had to say in a video posted to social media Thursday.
The way that this state has embraced us and our success in football has meant more to me than anything else.
His average annual salary is now approximately $11.6 million. Cignetti says he loves being a Hoosier and wants to retire a Hoosier. The Indiana Pacers have one last preseason game tonight, and they are in San Antonio to face the Spurs. Pacer head coach Rick Carlisle says they've had some issues with turnovers.
You just got to do better. We got to work on it. We got to keep working on spacing. We got to work on reads. We do have new guys. There is some adjusting going on, but time is running short. It's a week from today we start.
And that's when they get going for real against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tonight is also the final week of the high school football regular season across Indiana. Most games across the state start at 7 o'clock this evening. I'm Sean Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 7:35 with traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
What's up, John? Looking at northbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from Raymond Street into the South Split because of construction. Southbound 6570 slows Washington Street down to the South Split because of construction. Northbound 65 slow out of the North Split to West Street, and eastbound 465 north side a little bit slow. Ditch Road out to Meridian. Everything out to the airport from downtown looking fantastic here this morning. Beautiful sunrise. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like we're going to have some bad weather over the weekend, but for today, it's nice. High of 73, 50 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins coming in. Thrilled to be with you. You got Matt and Kurt hanging out, as Matt does every single morning on this show. Kurt on special assignment with me, by the way. And it's time for our market moment, our marketplace moment, I should say. That's brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. Matt and I have both gotten money off of Indiana Unclaimed. I haven't lived in Indiana for several years now, and still, they had money of mine that I didn't know existed. So please check out on Indiana Unclaimed if there's any money that you're missing that you could get. That's just awesome. And Matt, you got a lot of money, right? I know I've asked you this before, but you got a good amount compared to me.
Yeah, I paid for my Botox a long time
nice.
ago, as a matter of fact.
Just one treatment?
Just, well, actually, I paid for a third of it. I didn't get a lot of money, but we're talking about if you go to Unclaimed Indiana, it'll find places you don't even remember living in. And that was the cool thing. I used to have like this little small apartment. It wasn't bigger than a closet. You actually had to lift the bathroom door and put it in front of the bathroom. And it was not covering the bathroom. And I got $120 for living in that place. I don't know what I did, but I went to Unclaimed Indiana and I found it, and they sent me $120. So wherever you lived, how awful it was. You might be getting paid for it. You might be making some money because of it. So it was cool. It's a great service. Yeah.
The door was like off to the side of
yeah,
the room?
That's exactly how it was. And a woman came over. Yeah, it would have been a young woman. I was like 21, 22 at the time. And she came over. She sat down on the couch. She's like, am I supposed to go into that bathroom? And I was like, yeah, just go on in, and I'm going to lift this door, and I'm going to put it in front of the bathroom. And don't worry the fact that it's kind of oblonged. Like, you can kind of, see into the bathroom, and I'm trying to make this cool, and it was so not cool. It was so not cool, I was really trying to be honest. I wasn't trying to creep on anybody, but it was just like, yeah, it's the bathroom door. You got to move it.
There's zero way to make having to lift and place the door in front of the bathroom cool.
It was so bad.
I applaud you for trying.
It was the place was. I mean, it was great for the time. Remember, when you're 21, you could live in anywhere, and it'll be fun if you make it fun. If you have that youthful desire, wanting to explore, and hey, I'm going to save some money by living here, and it was everything you would expect from an apartment where you pay $175 a month. So thank you, Unclaimed Indiana. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. All right. So the thing that I found, and I don't know if you guys have talked about this one before, because I think it was posted over 3 weeks ago, and shockingly, it has not been sold yet. But it is a life-size statue of Batman that is $6,000 right now on Facebook Marketplace in one of the suburbs just outside of Indianapolis. $6,000 for a thing that stands about 6 feet tall. It's fiberglass. And I have to be honest, I always do this in my brain whenever we do the marketplace segment on Tony's show. I think about what it would be like to take this home with the missus reacting to it and not knowing I purchased it, and like how quickly it would end in horribleness for me. And that this would be probably the worst possible thing you could buy. $6,000 though, man. I think that he's probably priced himself out of the market of people who want to purchase it.
I wouldn't take this thing home to my wife. I mean, the dude's shredded. You're right. And it's not, I don't want to say anatomically correct, but there's a lot going on there. So I don't want to trigger any, thoughts or anything. I mean, this is a good looking studly Batman, and the dude standing next to it, he's in his blue jumper. If it's a 2 for a price of 1, hey, we're in, baby. Let's go. Get the guy with it.
Yeah, I don't know what he bought it for. Like, to be honest, and he says there's some scratches on it and stuff, and I think that Kurt was joking that means you could push to drop that price a little bit. I'm not sure how far it has to go down, by the way, buddy.
I don't know. He looks like he made it himself. I don't know why. Yeah. Just in the picture. But I'm all in on this.
I think you're right. It probably was made by himself, but I wonder what the total cost was to get to the $6,000 price point, because there are not a lot of people in the market for Batman full life-size statues that want to pay $6,000 for it. in general. You have a very small, specific amount of humans, and I think you need to drop that price a bit more. Have you guys talked about this one before, Matt?
No. No. And for our audience, Batman has a utility belt, and this is really it. He has this on the statue. Wouldn't it be cool if you pressed your thumb on that utility belt and candy corn flew out the middle? I mean, that would be a delicious. Yeah, Kurt's over there. Kurt's yeah, man, that'd be pretty cool.
It's the best superhero ever, man.
And because it's a utility belt, there are several buttons you can push. One has a Reese's cup, and
Right. Just in time for the holidays, man. That would be a great way to leave candy out for the kids on the front porch. It's just a Batman utility belt thing. So many questions that I now want to answer. Other things out there. I saw this story. I want to get your guys' reaction to this. A teacher called the cops after students stole a Hello Kitty Funko Pop from her desk. This is a third grade teacher. She said that she got the thing as a gift from some other student, and then some kid took it. And she actually filed a police report against a child for doing this sort of thing. I think there's even a viral TikTok, and I have some of that audio. I'll play that real quick. But the question that everyone's asking online, and I think we're going to ask here is it appropriate for a teacher to file a police report against a child? Obviously, a lot of us think the answer to that is no, but here we go. This is the woman trying to justify herself.
My third grade student bought it for me 6 years ago when I was a third grade teacher because he knew how much I loved Hello Kitty. The worth of this collectible is quite a bit, and it's not even just about the money, it's just the value of this item. The consequences, I definitely am going to get the police involved if necessary, because I'm just it's just worth so much that it just really irritates me and upsets me and hurts my feelings even more that someone really took this.
Thoughts on all this? Anybody?
Yeah, she's going to have the kid in federal court by the end of the month. This is going to be adjudicated all the way to the top. Brett Kavanaugh's going to get this in his lap here before too long. When you give somebody something, you give it to somebody, okay? It's done. It's a done deal. You don't get to get report cards. You don't get updates. It's over. You give it because you want to give something to somebody because that's where your heart is. And then you don't come back, and be that's worth a lot of money. Sorry. No, you don't get to do this.
No, well, and honestly, it's not worth any money. I think she's talking about the sentimental value of the item more so than anything else. But it's just insane to me to file a police report against a person that's not an adult, and to be I'm taking them down for stealing my Hello Kitty thing because it was given to me as a gift, and somebody has to learn a lesson. I like the idea that very often in our society now we teach people that there are consequences to behaviors. But this is a tad too far, at least to me and most people on the internet, if not several steps too far. Apparently not to her, though.
This is the new corporal punishment. This replaced a paddle. You get the cops called on you.
Honestly, this makes you miss the paddle a little bit because in that situation, at least after that's over, it's a done transaction and nobody's got a rap sheet that sticks with them for a while. Right. They eventually get over it. But all right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in with Matt hanging out and with Kurt hanging out. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
When you wake up,
you understand this is about money. 1,000%. They started this.
When you work,
as long as the category was all Bruce Springsteen all the time.
I told you I think I could win a game of Jeopardy. I could not go on a run.
When you drive home,
is it time to try something new, you think? Because it hasn't worked, and maybe try something new.
Traffic when you need it.
Stopped on 465 again. And
updates all the time.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go.
Stay in the know wherever you go with 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. and ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
They look fine. We have some slow spots. 96th Street slow on southbound 69 from 96th Street to 465. And then northbound 65 slow coming up from Raymond because of construction. Eastbound 465 on the north side, a little bit slow from Ditch over to Meridian. And on the east side, Lawrence, northbound 465, a little bit slow, Penn Pike up to East 56th Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It's going to be sunny today, a high of 73. Some clouds over the night tonight. 59 it drops down to. It cools off a lot, so there's going to be showers over the weekend, too. Maybe some worse storms than that. 50 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Our electric bills have increased as much as $50 each month. Governor Mike Braun is driving bills even higher. Instead of helping families, Governor Braun is doubling down on costly coal, gas, and nuclear. That means more pricey power plants that Hoosiers like us have to pay for. Utilities get richer, we pay more. Something has to give. Go to StopMikesHikes.com today to send Governor Braun a message. Hoosiers need affordable energy, not a blank check for greedy utilities. Paid for by Citizens Action Coalition.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Hi, I'm Dallas, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You know she loves her Shane Company engagement ring, but you also want to surprise her for her birthday, anniversary, or just because she deserves it. Why not get her a bigger diamond with our Easy Trade-Up program? We'll give you the full credit of your original natural diamond purchase toward a new one. Her new diamond only has to be $1 more. You only pay the difference. How's that for an easy trade-up? Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
Head online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Cambridge Fieldhouse.
Nice. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Lived in Chicago for a lot of years, so I love the fact that Kurt just played the goal song that happens when the Blackhawks score, and then said Chicago Blackhawks, go Chicago Blackhawks to me in my ear. Well done, Kurt. Matt and Kurt hanging out this morning with us. Matt does that every morning on the show. A couple things. First, I saw this. Grubhub is offering snooze insurance, is what they call it. This is something for college students. if you sleep through a late night food order, you put it in on the app, then it arrives and you're not there to receive it, they will give you a one-off $15 credit to your next thing that you need to buy. And they're calling it snooze insurance. I'm not sure if it costs anything. I don't know if it's just like a stupid thing they're doing right now. Here's the thing, though. It annoys me that college students do this. 72% of them have admitted that they ordered a thing and then slept through it, because some jamoke has to go out there, try to deliver the item, wait for the person to show up, and then eventually have to give up on the delivery. I think they still get paid, the driver who shows up to do the delivery. But some person has to, like, deal with the fact that the person they're trying to deliver the food to is definitely asleep, definitely not answering the phone, as you can't get access to whatever the place is you're trying to drop off the food at. Anyone have a reaction to this story?
Yeah, this is bad business, I think, by Grubhub, because you know the person that missed their pizza or whatever is going to wake up and be like, oh, man, I missed my pizza. And then they're going to order again. They're going to order exactly after the time that they missed a delivery. Why are they going to order again? Because they're using their parents' money. So for Grubhub, they offer insurance. You're just saying, okay, we're not going to take any more of your parents' money. When you know that's going to be like an endless stream of cash, coming in. So
that's a great point, especially if Grubhub is giving them a free $15 too. They're going to wake up, miss their first food order another one, and fall back asleep, and just the pattern will repeat forever. They will never be awake for this food. That is fantastic, Matt.
And I don't understand.
So many annoyed delivery drivers.
Yeah, I was a Hairy Buffalo guy when I was in college. I didn't want to say it like that. I really enjoyed the Hairy, but the really tough drinks. Thank you, Kurt.
Oh, yeah.
The Everclear, and it was a horrible thing. It's something stupid you do when you're 19, 20. And I remember one night, in Cary Quadrangle over at Purdue University, I just passed out. I mean, we're talking about kids falling asleep. They're not falling asleep. They're passing out. And the Mad Mushroom driver calls my little ringer phone on my closet-like dorm room, and it just keeps ringing and ringing, and I hear it there as I'm just laying face down. I finally answer the phone. He's like, if you want your pizza, you're going to answer the phone and come down here. So I throw on whatever. I just run down, stumble down the steps, almost fracture my skull there at Cary Quadrangle. But you want to, missing that pizza, it's like the worst feeling in the world.
Feels terrible.
Man.
By the way, was it Macho Man Randy Savage that was delivering that pizza? The voice you did, it sounded just like Macho Man.
This is Mad Mushroom, brother. Yeah. Mad Mushroom is good, too.
That's fantastic. I wish he did food delivery. That would be amazing. All right, one last thing before we take a break, and we'll probably talk about this more later on in the show because I can't help it. Victoria's Secret had its fashion show last night online. No longer a thing that happens on television. And here's my favorite reaction, even though it was, I guess, a little bit woke. There were, people that are being inclusive as far as some of the models go. By and large, people are saying a bulk of the people who modeled, underwear were actually hot this year. Like, they're actually stereotypically attractive. And I love that people are like, no, you got to check it out. This year, they're actually hot, man. So let's go see that again. I don't know if it eventually gets on TV. And that gets restored. I don't think it will, unfortunately. But apparently, for the most part, Victoria's Secret leaned in. I used some influencers along with other people to model some of their clothing. And by and large, according to the internet, the people are, in fact, rather attractive.
I'm sorry. Was there a period where the Victoria's Secret fashion show wasn't hot?
I don't know.
Something that I get left out of the loop.
I think there was a period of time where they were bringing in all different bodies and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I did see a little bit of the preview yesterday on my Twitter when I was diligently doing my traffic job. I was watching a little Victoria's Secret, and I'm here to tell you, it's going to be a good show. It was a fantastic idea. Whoever came up with putting good-looking women in underwear, compliments to you. You figured that one out. Yeah.
Me too. I agree. All right, Matt, you got the traffic.
Looking at northbound 465, and it's on the east side, a little bit slow from Penn Pike up to East 56. Eastbound 465 on the north side slows ditch over to Meridian. Northbound 65 stop and go. Raymond into the south split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry! Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $289 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, 249 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/2.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
The weather's brought fall color to Sundown Gardens. A great fresh selection of container trees has just arrived. The nursery staff at Sundown Gardens is ready to help you get all of your fall plantings done. And while you're there, shop all the season sales. 20% off interior fall decor, 50% off pottery, and some nursery selection is up to 50% off. The Garden Center has a great selection of local grown mums, pumpkins, and more. Sundown Gardens on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to QCkinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. Whether it's stem cell, PRP, or a number of other revolutionary therapies, QC Kinetics should be the last call you make. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what to expect from the Indiana weather this weekend. A data center debate in Henry County Thursday night. You'll hear what those in favor of it and those against it had to say, plus what a state trooper had to deal with recently. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 8 o'clock.
He keeps trying to end Russia's war in Ukraine. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Last week, over 7,000 people were killed. That's ridiculous.
So later today, President Trump will meet with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's been asking for more American support from air defense to advance Tomahawk missiles. The president says we need those, too.
We can't deplete for our country. So, they're very vital. They're very powerful.
Russia's leader has said providing Tomahawks would be a serious escalation. Vladimir Putin had another phone call with the president yesterday. The two leaders will get together again soon, like in Alaska in August. And Fox's Peter Ducey reports at the White House he's
planning a summit with Zelensky and Putin within 2 weeks.
We may do something where we're separate but equal.
The host? Hungary, whose president, Viktor Orban, posted preparations for the USA-Russia Peace Summit are underway. Hungary is the island of peace.
A former Trump national security advisor turned Trump critic, John Bolton, who the president calls a bad guy, has been indicted on 18 charges
related to his alleged retention and transmission of classified documents. His own attorney admitted that he kept some of these classified documents. Bolton charged not only with keeping top secret classified information, but sharing it with family members. The Justice Department says Bolton sent diary-like entries about his workdays at the White House and shared information classified up to the top secret SCI level, the highest level.
Fox's David Spone. Bolton may appear in a Maryland court this morning. In a statement, he wrote his conduct was lawful, and the case is a Trump abuse of power and attempt to intimidate. There was a debate last night in the closely watched mayor's race in New York City.
He literally has never had a job.
That's former Governor Andrew Cuomo swiping at the frontrunner, Democrat Socialist Zoran Mondani.
This is not a job for someone who has no management experience to run 300,000 people, no financial experience to...
Now Mondani went after Cuomo.
And if we have a health pandemic, then why would New Yorkers turn back to the governor who sent seniors to their death in nursing homes?
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How the weather might affect your weekend. Cloudy and 48 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Rainfall likely on Saturday, which could bring severe weather with it.
The threat for severe weather is mainly going to be late Saturday afternoon, into the early portions of Saturday night. And with that, the primary risks that we're expecting are isolated strong to severe wind gusts, and then heavy rainfall as well will be a threat.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there's also a small chance for a spin-up tornado. A 585-acre data center proposal near Knightstown has been put on hold to allow more time for discussion and to address concerns from people who live there. A meeting on it was held Thursday night. This man spoke at it and said he's not in favor of it.
Many longtime Knightstown families who have built this community for generations, are already talking about moving away if it happens.
Those who support it say data centers can help the county be better on top of things in this modern digital age. The next meeting on this set for November 20th. If you need to get gas today, AAA says the Indiana gas average is $2.88 a gallon. The national average is $3.05. A state police trooper injured in a two-car crash Thursday. Jarrett Lewis reports.
With his lights and sirens on, state police say the trooper was making his way onto Keystone Avenue from the I-465 exit just before 5:30 in the afternoon. As he pulled into the intersection, he was hit on the driver's side by a black Hyundai Tucson. Both the trooper and the driver of the Hyundai were transported to nearby hospitals. Thankfully, their injuries were not serious. State police don't believe drugs or alcohol were involved in the crash. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Just because Indiana Hoosier head football coach Kurt Cignetti has signed a new contract that pays him almost $12 million a year, he said Thursday, it doesn't mean the work stops.
I just wanted to get on camera and let you know that Kurt Cignetti is going to work daily to make Indiana the best they can be.
In a video he posted to social media, Cignetti said his wife and family love being at Indiana, and he plans on retiring as a Hoosier. His new contract's supposed to keep him at Indiana through November of 2033. Also with Indiana Hoosiers sports, their men's basketball team plays Marion tonight at 7:30, and pregame coverage starts at 6:30 right here on 93 WIBC. It's also the time of year where you can enjoy fall festivals. Terry Stacy reports on one of them.
Elaine Saylor says, rain or shine, the Hoosier Fall Festival at the Johnson County Fairgrounds is this weekend.
3 buildings full of vendors with wonderful items, everything from fingernails to T-shirts to food to plants, anything and everything you can think of. And then we also have some wonderful vendors outside. We even have pony rides and carriage rides this year.
Admission is free Saturday and Sunday, HoosierFallFestival.com. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 8:05 with traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear.
Good morning, John. Looking at northbound 65 south side, slow. Raymond up to the south split because of construction. Eastbound 465 slow. Michigan Road over to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. We're going to start off with sunny skies, a little bit on the crisp side this morning. Look for clouds to increase for the afternoon with highs near 73. Mainly cloudy skies, but dry for those Friday night football games tonight. Low temperatures, near 59. On Saturday, we'll get up to 80 degrees. It is going to be a bit breezy at times, but we're going to look for a cold front to move through. Showers and thunderstorms could be on the stronger side later in the afternoon and evening. Gusty winds and heavy rainfall possible. As the system moves off to the east, behind it, temperatures tank. We're only going to look for a high of 60 on Sunday. It is going to be windy with some rain possible. It's kind of a raw day, and those temperatures stay in the 60s for much next week.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now, 8:06 Friday morning. Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Lots of stuff out there to talk about, but the indictment of John Bolton is both hilarious to me and important. CNN actually basically admitted that this is not political retribution. This is not a revenge tour by President Trump, but this is actually a guy who did things he shouldn't have done. And I played this audio earlier in the show, too, or other audio earlier in the show, about all the times that Bolton went very hard in the paint trying to say that Trump and his classified documents case was very serious and Trump deserved to be thrown in jail forever. And so to get indicted on this, uniquely just like chef's kiss, entertaining for a lot of us out there. But here's how CNN actually described the story and talked about the reality that if you're a national security person, an advisor, and you're taking your own personal notes and bringing them home with you and classified information is on them, that's bad. You shouldn't be doing that.
Our Caitlin Polans, who has been reporting on the possible indictment of John Bolton, the former national security advisor for President Trump in his first term. Caitlin, what do we know?
Casey, John Bolton, the former national security advisor to Donald Trump, a longtime federal government official, has been indicted by a grand jury. We are learning that through two different sources from our producer, Hannah Rabinowitz at the Justice Department. And we have confirmed that the grand jury was in today with the lead prosecutor on that case, the same prosecutor who had been on some of the documents of the search of Bolton's house just 2 months ago, or not even 2 months ago, a prosecutor who also has some experience in investigating these sorts of things. He was a prosecutor that was...
By the way, I love how shocked they sound like they are as they're going through this. Like, this person has experience. And they actually seem to think that Bolton did something that's bad. And they're not Donald Trump, but they're somebody else.
Also working on the Biden classified documents handling investigation that led to no charges. But in this situation, the bulk of this case, it's been going on for several years. And our understanding is that it's about John Bolton's use of an email account with AOL, an email account where he was writing diary-like notes and summaries of his time as national security advisor to himself, at times even sending them to his wife and daughter. And that is the sort of thing that the Justice Department does say frequently, not just in the climate of a Trump administration, that that's something that you should not do. We have seen many.
Okay, that was my favorite part. They do say that that's something you shouldn't do if you're the national security advisor and you're taking diary-like entries. And I wonder how they started. I wonder if it was like Dear Diary, John here. I can't wait to talk to you again soon. I'm going to send this off to the wife and my daughter, but I hate Trump and I hate him real bad. And then writing a bunch of the, secret stuff that shouldn't be there. But yeah, that's essentially CNN admitting that John Bolton did something wrong and he shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. Here's the last thing I want to say about this, though. I think it's interesting. So multiple people who are thought to be high level, although they're not actually high level, people like James Comey are not actually in positions of power anymore, thank God, as they get in trouble. But high level people, according to the left, are being indicted because Trump is on a revenge tour. That's what they'll tell you. They'll tell you that this is, politicizing certain departments of our government, the Justice Department, and doing bad things and coming up with fake charges. Tish James and the issues she's going to have in New York. But what actually I think it screams to me is two very different things. And it's not about political retribution. First, as Trump was facing lawsuit after lawsuit, as they gamed the system in any way they could to go after him, I think one of the most important things that came out of that is that Trump, by and large, was able to, not face any of those charges, even in a courtroom, and then actually won the office of president without it. But what I think is interesting is they all know the game, it seems. Everyone behind the scenes and the people who are actually doing this bad stuff. Tish James got indicted for fraud, which is something she went after Trump for. Bolton got indicted for classified documents, which is something he very often criticized Trump for. It's amazing to watch these things happen because it essentially shows that this is happening every day in D.C., all throughout the political system, on the left and the right, probably on both sides a whole lot. But I'm assuming for some reason the left is doing more of this. And maybe that's just because of my bias. I don't know. But anyway, it's this easy to actually indict people and find things they really did wrong. And especially as they went after Trump and he was able to beat all the charges or not even face a lot of them because they seemed ridiculous at a certain time. It shows you how much more of this I think we could do. And so I guess my point is, if it really was a revenge tour and it's this easy to find a sort of hilarious, almost demonstrating the hypocrisy of D.C., a version of indicting people for the things they went after Trump for claiming he was doing, then a revenge tour would be even wider. More and more people would be caught up in this. Active politicians would be in significant amounts of trouble. People like AOC or Jasmine Crockett, you'd imagine, would have suits thrown against them in the near future. And I just don't think that's what's happening because you're not seeing it on that grand a scale. And I just imagine it has to be that easy. If you're finding out that these people who went after Trump that are not in positions of significant power right now can actually be caught red-handed doing a whole lot of the stuff that they accused Trump of doing. It's amazing. Tish James having a fraud case against her for mortgage fraud and other things, inflated, value of her home, or even claiming that she's living certain places she isn't living, et cetera, et cetera. And then also, Bolton now with classified documents at his house. It's just watching it play out and wondering to yourself how much someone somewhere hopefully regrets politicizing it in the first place when they went after Trump, and how it might go away, might not, who knows. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Attention Indiana homeowners, are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can buy with zero down. Choose from over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. We'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. Zero down delivers. And Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Inbound 69 slow, 82nd Street down to 465. South side northbound 65 slow after Raymond into the south split because of construction. Eastbound 465 north side slow, ditch over to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples? Easy Bunton is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Partly sunny, a high of 73 today. Cloudy overnight tonight, 59, so the temperature dropping a bit. And then maybe a bunch of storms over the weekend. Right now, it is 50 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom-built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5, and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Kurt hanging out, as Matt does every morning on this show. Both Kurt and I on special assignment today. I know that Matt is a prolific coffee drinker. I believe that we've had this discussion on the air a few different times. We've certainly talked about it on the brand new Matt and Craig excellent podcast that's out there that I certainly haven't promoted anywhere near enough on this show today. I think that the trailer episode is out and other episodes are coming out soon.
Shameless.
But I saw this and I thought it was interesting. Influencers brought in real pumpkins that they had carved out to a Starbucks because they wanted to do the take your own cup to the store thing and go too far with it. They demanded that people put festive, fall drinks inside actual pumpkins. This made the people at Starbucks mad. It caused a whole viral video, but eventually they relented and put the drinks inside the pumpkins. I would be incredibly annoyed by this if I were working at that Starbucks too, because the influencer wants it on the camera for, the internet. And that's the whole reason that they've made something harder for you today. But they got pumpkin spice lattes inside of carved out pumpkins, and that went viral. Any reaction to this story?
Because my brain is slower than most. Are they actually like making the drink inside of the pumpkin, or are they putting like the full cups inside of the pumpkin?
No, they're making the drink in the pumpkin.
That's a big drink.
It is. It's a big. Well, they're smaller pumpkins. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking.
And I don't know if you got the the grande or the whatever, the venti, but somehow they put a whole bunch of pumpkin spice latte inside these things. And again, it just annoyed the baristas to have to do this. But it's just because social media is a thing that this happened. If you were a human being that didn't want to have a following online, like most of us or some people out there, you wouldn't do this. You only buy the pumpkin, carve it out, and bring it to the Starbucks if you think it's going to get you some clicks and some things on the internet.
Is the pumpkin already carved?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're basically see. Okay, I think this is an entire waste of money. You're bringing in a pumpkin, then you're pouring like this is going to be anxiety in a pumpkin. Think about it. You already order, with an extra shot of espresso, 2 extra shots of espresso. You're gonna have like a dozen shots just to fill this pumpkin. You drink the pumpkin, and then you're running through a brick wall. That's going to be the progression here, and it just seems like way too much. Listen, as far as the influencer goes, make your money. Listen, I don't like
Fair
it.
enough.
I mean, I have.
Fair enough.
In the last 24, 48 hours, I may or may not have watched TikTok videos of college cheerleaders tumbling. And to me, it's a profession. To me, it's athleticism, and it's really cool.
What it is.
But they're making these videos for influencers eventually make their money. Listen, it's just capitalism at its finest. So if somebody's going to pay money for this content, then go make the content because it doesn't hurt me. It doesn't affect me. Yes, it annoys the hell out of me to some sort of degree when these videos pop up in my timeline. And I have the same reaction that you have. Like, why are people giving these people any attention? Because they don't deserve it. They have no discernible talent. But the fact is, that's where we're at. It's just where we're at right now. It sucks, but it's where we're at,
It is where we're at, Matt. And you're right. For the most part, it's not anything that I guess I care about all that much. But at the same time, like if I were working there and the whole reason they do it is just to go viral on the internet, that's the part that annoys me. If someone really wants a pumpkin drink inside of a pumpkin just for their own personal satisfaction, I think I'd care less about I wouldn't be as angry about doing it. I think it's the fact that it's just for the internet. And they're really just doing it to go viral, and they're making my day harder. That annoys me. And it annoyed a lot of people online, whatever that says.
I'm sorry, just real quick. In my mind, at some point in the planning process of this, I would have thought, listen, guys, we're going to get pumpkin all over the floor. The drinks are going to spill. This is going to be so messy. And some barista is going to have to go through and clean all this up, clean up after us. And to me, being an adult is cleaning up after yourself and not making messes for other people to clean up. So, I mean, I wish that maybe it's just because they're so young and they haven't gotten to that point in their life where it's like, I got to clean up after myself, That somebody might have said to somebody, hey, let's not do this because it's going to make somebody's life a living hell, Yeah,
and it's just annoying. And I'm annoying now talking about it. All right, the other thing I like out there, this is a viral video or a viral concept now. Gen Z... And I want to preface this. What I'm about to say is not going to get us in trouble with the FCC, although they are shut down. If the government shut down, maybe the FCC doesn't count right now, which I shouldn't be thinking about. But anyway, this is an appropriate thing to say. Gen Z is, quote, raw dogging boredom. This is a real thing they're doing. This would be... Did I hear a reaction from that?
We're doing that now.
Yes. What this is just sitting with nothing. So you sit in a room somewhere. You don't have any technology around you. This is to remove yourself from technology. And for like 30 minutes or an hour, you just allow yourself to be bored. They're doing this on purpose for mental health reasons. And they, again, call it raw dogging boredom. And they're asking people to come over and raw dog boredom with them. And so I never thought I'd say that many times on a morning show. Matt, what is your reaction to the newest Gen Z trend?
Yeah, Gen Z. Innovation. That's fantastic. You can sit in a quiet room with no phone or anything or no interruptions for 30 minutes and call it meditation and actually get something out of it. Try to decompress yourself. Try to reconnect with the things that make you happy in life. Why do you have to be bored?
I don't know.
Boredom. To me, boredom's not a good part of my mental health. When I'm bored, something's going wrong. Something is not happening that should, and then I feel guilty. So why is it all of a sudden important to be bored? I guess that's my biggest question from that, is how a mental health trend actually perpetuated from this. It's really kind of bizarre to me.
And I love the thing that you point out, because they're also pretending it's new, but if you actually called it meditation and tried to do it that way, it's a thing that's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah.
But if you're Gen Z and you want to sit in a room by yourself without any distractions, you call it raw dogging boredom, and it goes viral, and an idiot like me talks about it on a morning show on the radio.
Well, it went viral because of the name, not because of the action. There's nothing new here, like you've already pointed out astutely. I mean, there's viral because you're calling it what you're calling it. I'm kind of embarrassed to say it myself.
All right, you're not going to say it once? No. I said it like 6 times. And again, the FCC is shut down right now. I think we're okay. All right, Matt's got traffic.
That's funny. Look at the northbound 65 on the south side, slow. Raymond Street up to the south split. That's a construction zone. Then on the north side, eastbound 465 slow from Ditch over to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job. James was very cordial and, like I say, responded to our phone calls and then kept in contact with us. So he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he said. Did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Other companies make broken promises, but at Simple Quarters, we keep our word. Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
More than 100 million wild animals are killed each year, illegally. Poaching is just one of the risks animals face at our hands. I'm Tom Barry. I'm an actor. I grew up in the beautiful rural countryside of Ohio, where animals roamed freely in the open forests. I have a deep concern to help preserve those open spaces for our wildlife friends so they can live and thrive like they used to. Destruction of their habitats threaten their very existence. The best way to protect wildlife is to protect the land where they live. The Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust works with private landowners to protect wildlife, to preserve natural habitats, and establish permanent sanctuaries. To learn more or to work with the Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust, Call 800-729-SAVE. That's 800-729-SAVE. Or visit wildlifelandtrust.org. Thank you.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndieDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What you might want to know if you're outside tomorrow. Seeing some more sunshine at the moment, 50 degrees on Monument Circle. Today's high, 72. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 8:30. Strong showers and thunderstorms are possible on Saturday.
Really, we're going to see widespread heavy rainfall across much of the state, but when it comes to the severe weather threat, we think the greatest threat, really the entire state has a marginal threat for severe weather, but the greatest threat we think would be slightly higher as you get further south across the state.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says you'll want to watch out for high wind gusts, and the storms could linger into Sunday. Lots of crowds expected tomorrow for a second round of No Kings protests against President Trump and his use of executive power. Those are supposed to happen across the country, including Indiana. Protesters say their goal is to remind President Trump and his enablers that America has no kings. The flagship protest is set for Washington, D.C., outside the Capitol. House Speaker Mike Johnson has described it as a hate America gathering. President Trump has said that he will release a list of Democrat programs that will close because of the government shutdown that's approaching almost 3 weeks. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal.
One of the projects he's already said he'll end is the Gateway Project, money to build a transit tunnel underneath the Hudson River. New Jersey candidate for governor, Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, said she doubts the president can do this.
I don't think a negotiating posture can be illegally taking money that Congress has appropriated. So shutdown or not, Congress needs to fight tooth and nail because this is an area where they have acted and they should not give away power like this.
The White House spokeswoman said in closing certain programs during a shutdown, the president is being a good steward of American taxpayer dollars. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
The president also saying he'll meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in about 2 weeks. Trump says the two leaders will be meeting in Hungary in another attempt to end the war in Ukraine. The two leaders may also discuss the possibility of Ukraine receiving Tomahawk missiles, and he's supposed to meet with the Ukrainian president today. A change coming to Indiana schools. Jake McDaniel reports on what they're replacing.
The Indiana Capital Chronicle says they're replacing the former A through F grading model by the end of this year with a new system that still uses A through F, but now measures every single child's progress, not just test scores. It's all about the Graduates Prepared to Succeed plan, rewarding schools for things like reading improvements and getting students back on track for graduation. It's an effort to look at the full student picture. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And if you're going to the movie theaters this weekend,
I had a bad dream.
The Black Phone 2, starring Ethan Hawke as a serial killer called The Grabber, is looking to make anywhere between $23 to $29 million in its debut weekend. Meanwhile, Good Fortune, starring Keanu Reeves, is supposed to make anywhere between $6 to $8 million in its first outing. And sports on WIBC, brought to you by Ball State Athletics. You can visit ballstatesports.com. Shortly after signing a long-term contract on Thursday that keeps him at Indiana University through November of 2033, Indiana Hoosier head football coach Curt Cignetti said this in a video posted to social media.
My wife, Minette, and I love Indiana University, Bloomington, the state of Indiana, the people we've met. We have very strong feelings about President Whitten and Scott Dolson.
Dolson being the Indiana University athletic director, Cignetti says he loves being a Hoosier and he wants to retire a Hoosier. His 6-0 Hoosiers will face 3-3 Michigan State tomorrow at 3:30. 13th-ranked Notre Dame faces off against 20th-ranked USC in South Bend. The Irish have won 4 games in a row. Purdue's lost 4 straight. They face Northwestern, and Ball State is hosting Akron. The Los Angeles Dodgers knocked off the Milwaukee Brewers 3-1 in the NLCS Thursday night to take a 3-0 lead in that series, while the Toronto Blue Jays thrashed the Seattle Mariners 8-2 in the ALCS, and now that series is tied up at 2 games apiece. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 8:35 with traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, John. Westbound Rockville Road 36 stopped at Bridgeport. Down to 1 lane on that westbound side, and we do have a backup. Thank you for the tip on the tip line. 239-9393 if you ever see something with traffic and want to tip me off. Northbound 65 slow from Raymond Street up to the South Split. That is a construction zone. Eastbound 465 slow from Ditch over to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry. Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like we're going to have a fairly nice day today. 73 is the high, 50 right now in downtown Indianapolis, and then some storms. Might be creeping in throughout the weekend, might have some severe weather. Keep informed by staying here on 93 WIBC, and I'm sure they'll have you up to date on anything going on. But that temperature was brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee. Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in, and we are filling up on the news. I'm going to do a few quicker stories here that I think are interesting. First, the crazy guy out of New York is what I always refer to Zoran Mamdani as, has described how he's going to make buses free for everybody. He has said before that there's a lot of things he'd like to be free. The government will do whatever they can to make these things free. I think he wants to buy up grocery stores and turn them into government-funded operations, which never goes wrong. Nowhere in the world of, communism does things like that become a problem. But the latest one is like free buses for everyone. He says it's safer for bus drivers because no one's going to have to pay a fare, so a bus driver's not going to have to kick somebody off for not paying a thing. But when he was asked, he was pressed about this the other day, he said exactly the thing that everybody expected. How are you paying for that? Well, I'm going to raise taxes. And by the way, I love the way that they do this. The taxes are just going to be on the 1%. Nobody else is going to pay anything extra. And then when they find a loophole and don't have to pay it, then you're going to have to pay it. But I promise I'm not going to start out with that as my intention. Here's Mamdani.
The question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the revenue that would have otherwise been brought in from fares. And that's something that we would do in partnership with Albany. And I've put forward two proposals. The first is to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers by 2%. That would raise $4 billion. The second is to raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, which would raise $5 billion.
Yeah, and by the way, New Jersey has one of the most ridiculous tax rates in the entire country, and I think probably the world, I imagine. I don't know. But anyway, I just think this is hilarious. He's like, yeah, I'm going to raise taxes. But don't worry, it's not going to be on you. It's just going to be on these other people that always fight those and have, fancy people that can find a loophole so that they don't have to pay certain things, and you don't have those. And when we're out of money, like a lot of states wind up being, we'll eventually have to raise taxes on you. At the end of the day, you're going to pay for this, and you're going to say that it's a good thing if, I guess, you vote for him into office. Let's play this, too. This is amazing to me. This is the other attorney general candidate in Virginia. So Jay Jones has made a lot of news nationally. He is the Democrat running for that office in that state. The reason he's made news is that he, actually dreamed about his political opponents being shot and killed. Said that he wanted certain things to happen to people. All this through text messages that were released. So awful, horrible person. The kind of person that the left tells you the right is. They'll tell you that any individual that's running on the other side of the political aisle actually feels this way behind closed doors. We know it definitively to be true now about Jay Jones, who somehow is not dropped out of this race. And his political opponent, Jason Mieres, who's actually in this office right now, went after him. And I just thought this was fantastic. So I want to play some of this audio. I know this is Indianapolis. I know this is a national / whatever state story out of Virginia. But again, just to set the table, the person running against the Democrat in Virginia for the Attorney General's office attacked him about, released texts that show that he actively hoped for actual violence to happen to his political rivals, the kind of thing that should be universally condemned and pushing people out of political, positions, offices, or even races. It's just crazy that this is the kind of thing we're talking about, but this is a pretty good 30 seconds on how your political opponent can use that horribleness to demonstrate how much of a piece of crap you are.
And I find it a little bit stunning that today you say one of the pillars of your public safety platform is protecting children. Were you protecting Jennifer's children when you said you wanted to see them die in their mother's arms? How can anybody who's ever worked in any of the crimes against children, all of the areas of federal and state local law department, how can they ever take you seriously, be the top prosecutor knowing that you view that children should die to advance a political agenda.
Yeah.
It's unconscionable, and if you were truly sorry, you would not be running for this office because you disqualified yourself.
Yeah, no, he has. And it's not that he shouldn't be running for the office because he understands he should step down. Like, there's a lot of reasons that you would think that he should no longer be running for that office, and that there can't be any way that he can win that, or any political race. But I will just say this. I don't know how we've gotten to a point in this country, and I mean this candidly, where there can be so many people who are convinced that they're the good guy. They walk around every day with their chest up, thinking that like they care about the little guy. They're defending people that are being treated unfairly in society in all kinds of ways. And this is what the left will tell themselves, that they're good people, and then also feel this strongly about harm being done to people that they disagree with. Like, it's that fine. Like, I hope that their children die in their arms so that they believe what I believe, essentially is the statement. How can you get to a point to be that evil? How could you want something that you believe to convince someone of a position that you have that they don't have? How can you want the catalyst of that to be, I want family members of theirs to be killed? And then to also not step down, not run away from the position of being in a political place once that gets outed as the type of person you actually are. But I think that a lot of people who consider themselves to be uniquely good, and the reason they vote the way they do is more so than any one issue. They just think it's the good guys versus the bad guys, or, me voting against the Nazis, or whatever they say when they're voting that side. And then also think that it would be totally fine if someone were killed because of a gun argument of some kind, because that would finally wake them up onto the other side of the disagreement that you have. To actively wish for the death of people is horrible. And again, and I know I've talked about this before on the show, it reminds me of a conversation I had very quickly with a woman in public that I probably should have just left alone. Not that anything really bad happened. It was an argument, who was saying that Charlie Kirk deserved to die. And I just couldn't be quiet. In that one, I was listening to this person say this in a bar, and I just couldn't sit on my hands and listen to someone say that an individual, because of what they thought and believed, deserved to be shot and killed for it, so that they would actually hopefully convince people of the position you have on a discussion. It is uniquely horrible that we got to that point in our society. And again, it's sort of mystifying to me that the people who consider themselves to be the good guys are the ones who seem to hold this position so much more consistently than the people on the other side of the political aisle that the left calls, Nazis and evil and terrible. All right, quick break. A little bit more coming up. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $289 per month. Plus, at the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, 249 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/2.
Custom jewelry is not out of reach with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. At PA Jewelers, you can customize any piece of jewelry for that special someone. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, and of course those watches from Flederman Von Riest, assembled right here in Indiana. Custom designed jewelry with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Custom jewelry made just for you. PA Jewelers, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. PAJewelers.jewelry.
Enough is enough. Governor Braun said he would listen to Hoosiers and stand up to Washington's plans to rig our maps. But now, those Washington insiders are coming to Indiana to finish the job. Unless we can stop them, we want our votes to count, our voices to be heard, and for lawmakers and Governor Braun to focus on issues that matter to us. Utility bills, inflation, taxes. Keep standing strong against redistricting at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age. making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Pretty good, Craig, for Friday morning. Right now, we are checking out northbound 65 on the south side, and it's slow. It's a construction zone. Raymond Street up to the south split. Inbound 69 tightens up as you hit the BIMF, and eastbound 465 stop and go north side from Ditch Road over to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry! Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Partly sunny, a high of 73 for today, 50 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Colts fans, they're on a roll, and so are we. It's the Colts Ultimate Tailgate, Sunday, October 26th at noon at the Slippery Noodle. Come pregame with WIBC for the wildest party before kickoff. Drink specials, tailgate games, prizes, and nonstop Colts hype. Details at WIBC.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra, not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
County Katz Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You have Matt hanging out and Kurt hanging out, and this is a theme song. Can you roll that up again? Saved by the Bell.
That was too easy.
Was it?
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Hold on, I gotta play the thing.
There you go. Matt, did you know that one too pretty quickly?
I thought it was Hannity and Combs.
It's close.
I'm not good at this.
Basically the same theme song. Yeah. Wake up in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get to play the lyrics or nothing. That was too easy.
I know.
That was too easy.
That one was easy for me. But this is, as I said, Tony Katz, the Morning News. That is Guess the Theme Song. Kurt provided it for us, and it was Saved by the Bell, which if you watch that show now, it's terrible. It wasn't very good. Most of it was not good. But when I was younger, I thought it was a brilliant show, and I thought that Zach Morris, the guy who played him, deserved several Academy Awards. And mostly because I think I wanted to be Zach Morris and date Kelly Kapowski. But all right, some other things out there. I'm not trying to promote this too much, but it is within the family, so I feel like it's okay to do it. Matt and Craig Excellent Podcast is a thing that will exist in the world. Okay. Matt and I are doing a podcast where we talk about silly and ridiculous stuff and don't really cover too many very big news stories, mostly because, Matt, like podcasts, you download them whenever you want, you listen to them whenever you want, and if you do news in those things, it's old. Like 2 days later, and we want people to be able to go and check this stuff out no matter when they decide to discover Matt Craig Excellent Podcast.
I'm really excited because today we do a taping and we are going to tape part of the show on how to deliver a baby in a taxi cab. And I think this is going to be a very valuable service to the people that listen to the podcast, how to do this, because you never know when somebody riding with you in an Uber or taxi cab might start giving birth, and you want to be prepared for this. So, we're going to discuss it and give helpful hints as we do on this excellent podcast we're discussing.
Another Matt that works at our radio station, Matt Himlin, is the genius that asked us to do worst case scenario in every single episode. So we break down a horrible scenario and tell you tips on how to make yourself, successful. Things like jumping off a building into a garbage, dumpster.
Absolutely.
I think jumping from a car onto a motorcycle, or is it the opposite? Jumping from a motorcycle onto a car?
Oh, we're going to do both.
One's way easier. One's way harder.
Way harder, but you're going to learn to do both.
You definitely will. These are the kind of things that we discuss. We give you tips, and then usually we crap on those tips because, darn it, it's us.
Yeah.
So why not do it? But that is something that's coming up in the world. Matt, Craig, excellent podcast. I did want to discuss some of that stuff that we have planned for today's show to give people a preview if they want to check this out. You intend to ask me during the podcast about going to the gym. I have been going now for a couple weeks, really probably in earnest about a week. And I've been texting you about it because, Matt, you go to the gym a lot. The missus has been working out. She's trying to get in better shape. And I can't let that happen alone. Because if the missus gets in, way better shape and then I still look like me, it's going to end. My relationship will end very quickly. So this got to stop. But here's the thing, and I wanted to tell you, I worked with a personal trainer. The gym that I joined said you get one personal training for free. I didn't have to pay the guy. And he harmed me, man. He's just like, I feel actively injured days later because there was no stretching. There was no preparation. And then almost every single exercise involved my legs, which I almost never work out. So for multiple days after going to the gym with the personal trainer, I couldn't walk well. And that made me feel uniquely old. So I wanted to ask you if at some point early on, maybe in the gym journey, you had situations like that where for days after hitting the gym, your body told you that you were not, in fact, in good shape.
Well, a personal trainer that doesn't tell you to stretch, what could go wrong? I mean, it sounds like we're off to a great start here. I still have those things. I mean, I'm 47 years old, and I have dings and dents and problems all over the place, and that's okay. I mean, that's not a complaint. I mean, I'm not going to be... I work out with a lot of people younger than me, like 20 years younger than me. And, they're putting the entire gym on the barbell and they're squatting it and benching it and doing all the things. I mean, people might see that and get discouraged. I don't, because that's not my goal. But you have to start somewhere. You have to start at that beginning. You can never start in the middle. And that's kind of the cool thing about it is once you get going and you start seeing those first results after a month, man, it's gravy then. Then you're having a good time because you can see your body developing. You feel better. You can actually get off the couch using your legs. The functional parts of it are so cool, man. Ooh, and it's just so enjoyable. But, with the trainer, maybe show you how to stretch. Maybe,
maybe a little bit. Maybe some of that stuff. Yeah, it would have been nice. By the way, the one other thing that probably will come up in the podcast in more detail, but I wanted to reference it here. You also asked me about where I look at the gym. I feel like we've joked about this before because we accidentally joined the trendy gym. I don't think we did that on purpose. It's not the most expensive, but it's not the cheapest. And it's definitely got a lot of very young people that work out at it, like you just said, for our gym. And a lot of the women don't wear a lot of clothing. And I know the rule in society is I have to pretend as though I don't find that attractive and I don't look at people, because otherwise I'm a horrible person. My favorite thing happened, though, real quick, Matt. I was at one of those machines where there's four sides, you got the bench thing where you're pulling down. I don't know what any of these exercises are called, which is not great. But so it's me and three other people all in a little square. All three of the people were super hot women, and I showed up first. It was one, then another, then a third one. And I was thinking to myself, this is inherently unfair because now I have no idea what I'm supposed to do in this moment. So I just stared up at the ceiling while I did my exercise so that I didn't look at anybody and nobody got mad at me. But they shouldn't have a design like that where there's three people working out all in the same square as you on opposite sides of a machine.
Point your eyes to a place where you want somebody else to look. That's what you do. Say you really train up your forearms. Start looking at your forearms, and then they're going to look at your forearms, too. It's a good idea. Really, it's a brilliant idea. I mean, same thing with your lats. Just be like, stretch my back. Hey, look, it's my lats. My latissimus. It just happens to be there. And why aren't you looking right now? You were there first. It's okay, man. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not violating anybody as long as you're cool, keeping your eyes where they're supposed to be, and just letting everybody work out. There's no issue there. There's not. No.
Thanks for the tip, man, because I'm not sure that it handled it all that well. The wife discovered me in that spot and seemed very judgmental about that. I know. It wasn't my fault. All right, you got traffic.
Yeah,
I got to go. Thanks to everybody.
We'll talk about that in a few. Looking at northbound 65 on the south side, slow from Raymond Street up to the south split because of construction. Eastbound 465 slow, ditch to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to QCkinetics.com/Indianapolis or call